Coming to you live from the beautiful suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, and Johns Creek, Georgia. This is the Week Zero podcast. Welcome back, everybody, for another episode. I am your host, Andrew Coster, joined by my two college football analysts, Lucas I Miss Marcus McKnight, and Ryan Pine needs to start Fravel. Oh my gosh, will he ever let it go? Our co-host Connor Daughtry will be here, but he will be here later. But gentlemen, welcome back. Can we just go back and talk about how amazing this past weekend of college football was? Like, this is honestly one of the best weekends in college football on record for me.
Yeah, I agree. You look back and you think throughout the rest of the season and before this, I don't think we're going to see a week quite like this one. It was a great one, and probably one of the only weeks where I've watched almost every game that was on just cable. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Ryan?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge weekend. I mean, a lot of upsets. Texas A&M, the big one. We'll get into a little bit later. I mean, not only on top of that, like the upsets that we've seen, but also teams that kind of proved that they weren't pretenders, like Kentucky. Will Levis going for 5 touchdowns against LSU. Got a huge game coming up this weekend against Georgia. I mean, there's a great weekend for college football, and this is why college football is the best sport in the world.
Yes, sir.
I agree 100%. And we're going to actually get into this week zero or this last week 6 recap here. If you guys haven't already, also make sure to subscribe to the channel and also leave this video as a like, as it helps it out a lot. Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Actually, I do know where to begin. The mighty Alabama, down you go. Oh, boy. Down goes the tide. The tide have been rolled. Roll, tears, roll. Alabama went into Texas A&M, and everyone thought was going to win. We all picked them to win. They go down and lose on a final score of, 41-38. So a very, very tough loss for Alabama. Just did not look great, but a lot of also records were broken this weekend or streaks per se that Nick Saban and Alabama had. Their 100-game win streak against unranked opponents snapped. Their Nick Saban's 24 are being undefeated against his former assistants snapped by Jimbo Fisher, 24-1 now. Also had the longest winning streak in college football at the time. Alabama had 19 snapped, and Texas A&M's 9-game losing streak to Alabama was also snapped. And he was also Nick Saban's 40-0 against unranked opponents from being ranked number 1 in the country was snapped as well. So, guys, a really important question here that we need to discuss. Alabama did not look like the number 1 team in the country this past weekend, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to send it over to you guys. Is Alabama in trouble?
Well, as I've said in previous weeks, I think they're going to lose to Tennessee come 2 weeks. I don't know that they're necessarily in trouble because I think we're going to see a better Alabama team come next year. They have quite a few younger dudes, and Bryce Young is just going to – he's just going to grow from where he is. Obviously, he had one of those, those freshman games. He still didn't play terrible, but threw the one interception, which hurt him. It's just you're going to have games like this as a young team, and Saban knows that. So, it's not like they played a bad game. Texas A&M just came out and played a perfect one. So I don't think they're necessarily in trouble, but this isn't going to be their year.
Brian?
Yeah, I kind of disagree with what Lucas said. I think that Alabama's just fine. I don't think Alabama fans have any reason to worry. How I look at this game is Alabama kind of shot themselves in the foot a lot this game with the 2 interceptions that put Texas A&M in prime field position. Let me just say this. Alabama has probably played their worst game in a while this past Saturday. and they played the absolute worst they probably could. And Texas A&M still needed a game-winning field goal to win that game. And let's just say that also Texas A&M team has not shown any of this entire season. And I think this game was a fluke for both teams. I'm going to give credit to Texas A&M because they did show up. They came to play. And I'm pretty sure none of us going into this game gave Texas A&M the slightest chance to win this game. But if I'm Alabama, I'm sitting there. I'm still, you know what? I'm the number 5 team in the country. It was a terrible game by everyone. We had the worst game we've had in years, and they still needed a field goal to win. So if we clean up those turnovers, we play like the Alabama we have been the last couple of years, I don't see any issue until they get to the SEC championship game against Georgia.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But I will say this defense has looked sus the entire year, especially we saw kind of like them get exposed against Florida a few weeks ago. And, to see them get this, and I feel like Texas A&M kind of took what Florida did and just kind of amped it a lot. From what I saw, a lot of motion pre-snap. That's what a lot of Florida did, and it seems like that's what a lot of Texas A&M did. It really seemed to confuse the Bama offense, or defense for that matter. I think the offense is fine. You score 38 points, you're usually going to win the game. But this defense just does not look good. Ever since really after the first 2 years Kirby Smart has been gone, Alabama, the defense has just been bad, very bad at times, like definitely the weaker side. But I will say this, for the remaining teams on Alabama's schedule going into the SEC championship game, good luck. Nick Saban is going to chew out that defense so hard. Their butts are going to be sore from it. Like they're going to actually need ice for that stuff. It is not going to be pretty. So going into before Georgia, I just feel bad for whoever else is on their schedule because Mississippi State this weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Alabama wins 42-0. No offense to Mississippi State, but Alabama is going to be pissed off. Saban took all the Chargers and Challengers. Let's be real. So they're going to be very upset. The players are going to be upset. But I did also hear this. So one thing from watching all this stuff, a lot of people reported this, that Alabama just also did not have a good week of practice. Apparently they were very overconfident going into this game. And that kind of seemed like it, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I will also give credit to Texas A&M. When Bama really did seem like they were starting off bad, but then they would come back and fight. And they were just – it was like they took punch blow for blow. But I will say the main thing that if you're Bama and you need to be concerned about is your defensive line is getting bullied bad. So when they play Georgia in a few weeks, or like assuming they play Georgia in the SEC championship game and Georgia's really bread and butter this year has been running the football, I don't know how they're going to stop them. I really don't.
Well,
yes.
Oh, go ahead, Lucas.
Well, I'm sure we're probably going to say the same thing here. Texas A&M has a really good running back in Isaiah Spiller. He's a stud. And he really didn't – he's not – they don't have the O-line that Georgia has. So I obviously think that Georgia's going to end up, like you said, running all over those guys. But Texas A&M didn't really run all over that defense. They had 94 yards total rushing. So, it's kind of a lot. You'd think it's a lot against an Alabama team, but it really isn't anything crazy. I think the biggest difference maker in this game, and it's been the difference maker in a lot of games this season, going back to the Notre Dame game, Notre Dame against Wisconsin, and then Nebraska against Michigan State, is special teams. That kickoff return touchdown that Texas A&M had sparked them to continue the dominance that they were having in that game that ended up winning, initially winning that game. It was the same thing in that Nebraska-Michigan State game. They had the punt return touchdown that really won that game, put it into overtime. They had all the momentum. And then the same thing in Notre Dame. When they had the kick return touchdown, that entire game changed. So special teams has been a huge, huge thing in college football this year.
No, it has been. But I will say also to go with that, Alabama, or what's it called? Alabama had just blocked a punt and gotten it back for a touchdown. So it wasn't just necessarily Alabama there who was the only one doing the special teams. But the beginning thing is Alabama, I think they'll be fine going before the SEC championship game. If they lose to Tennessee, that'd be crazy. But I just don't see it. Especially, I think that offense is going to do way even better than they did this past weekend. But the next one that we got to talk about now is the Red River rivalry, Texas. You blew it. Bruh. You had a 28-7 lead, and you blew it. Come on, man. We are finally ready to see Oklahoma finally get exposed. And they were exposed. Rattler just got bailed out. But also another thing we got to talk about with this one real quick.
Texas is back, folks. Not this time. You're wrong. We're back. No, we got you.
When Texas wins tonight,
no way.
Against the mighty SEC,
no way.
Texas is back.
This one was invented by a writer.
I don't know how many times we're going to have to play that video. But Texas, they clearly gave us hope. They actually looked good. And offensively, they did. In that first half, they looked incredible. They just took their foot off the gas and too soon. And I know they also weren't expecting Caleb Williams to come in, but man, they just got that slowed that shouldn't have slowed the offense down like it did. But I know overall Texas played some good plays, but they really just did not have it down the stretch.
Yeah, it made a huge difference, and I'm going to look at this real quick because I can't quite remember his name, the receiver for Oklahoma. You guys can help me out. Yeah, Mims. He had been non-existent the entire season and then just decided that he was going to be CeeDee Lamb in this specific game, which is crazy. But they didn't expect Caleb Williams to be this good. Is he as good as he's going to continue the rest of the season this way? I don't know. But he just went out there and he balled out. And Casey Thompson started, he just got destroyed at the end of that game. Texas forgot how to block. And it was really incredible to see. I think we really saw the Oklahoma team that everybody, well, at least the people, voting on the AP poll, put them in the top two at the beginning of the season. I think we really saw that at the end of that game. Kennedy Brooks, I think, is really good. He's no Bijan Robinson, that's for sure. I hand that man the Heisman already. That kid's incredible. But Kennedy Brooks really came out there and he did what he needed to do to win that game, and so did obviously Caleb Williams after Spencer Rattler, which we can mention the story about the Caleb Williams taking all the first team snaps and from the kid with the binoculars or whatever that was writing on that article. But it's going to be really interesting to see, and I won't take up too much time, but it's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of the season goes for those guys. And they look better with Caleb Williams back there. Spencer Rattler is, I think, a thing of the past, and honestly, he's going to be in the Pac-12 next season. I really think so.
Ryan, your thoughts?
Well, I know we're talking about Texas, but I did want to say really quick that Nick Saban has not lost back-to-back games since 2015.
He's definitely not losing this weekend.
He ain't gonna lose to Mississippi State.
But
if he does, give Mike Leach a raise.
That was actually, I think, when they lost the SEC championship game and then made it to the playoff and then lost to Ohio State.
No, that's actually incorrect. You're talking of 2014 when they lost to Auburn in the Iron Bowl off the kick six and then lost to Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. I was actually 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know what you were talking about.
Because the article was from 2015. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
But anyway, so getting into Texas, I'm gonna talk more about it a little bit later. Lucas can give me all the crap he wants for it, but this is just such a thing that Texas would do. Like, this is such a Texas thing. I mean, people gave Clemson crap a few years ago, and Clemsoning was a thing. But I'm
Longhorning.
Yes, I'm gonna start this officially on this show. Longhorning is now a thing. You go from saying we're back every time you play good, and wasn't it Barstool Sports posted on Twitter? The Texas Longhorns are back after they were blowing out Oklahoma.
Yeah, when they're up 28-7.
And then
Barstool U, I think.
It just backfired so hard. But it's like, how many times are we going to give Texas fans this break? I mean, Texas fans have to be tired by now just saying their team's back every year. But for you to lose a 21-point lead to a backup quarterback, not only a backup quarterback, but a true freshman quarterback that didn't even play his final year of high school football, for him to come into that environment and basically bend Texas over, there's got to be something, because for whatever reason, that second half, Texas's offense acted like they couldn't play football. Like, they forgot how to throw the ball, run the ball.
Yeah, and minus that last drive on when they tied it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, where did your offense go? Where did the defense go? What happened? But I mean, it's unacceptable to give up a 21-point lead. I know Lucas is like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
16
it's not that. Here's the thing. Before you say anything there, it is a big deal. Now, Texas was not supposed to be as good as they are. They lost so many players due to transferring over the last 2 years. Texas was not supposed to be good. They really aren't. And then they came out. Obviously, the AP poll, they're gonna put Texas in the top 25 just because it's Texas every year. I mean, it's gonna happen. So and then they went out and beat Louisiana. Then it made them look good for some reason, I guess. I mean, Louisiana's an okay team, but they beat Louisiana, made them look good, and then everything fell back to reality. It's Texas. They don't have these crazy players like they once did. And, I mean, they look great, and then they fell apart. I don't think we can fully count them out from being a 9-10 win team, but this one definitely hurts.
Yeah. No, I say the thing with Texas is you have to remember this is Steve Sarkisian's first year, and he's shown he can do it. I mean, he got this from being a good offense coordinator with Nick Saban. I mean, we see what what's his name? The Lane Train, Lane Kiffin has done now with getting experience from Alabama or from Nick Saban. It's just going to take a little time. Yeah, they'll get their players in though. I mean, it's Texas, historically a great program. They've got a big recruiting edge, and it's Texas at the end of the day. I think under Sark, they just need to give him time. I think they should have given what was their last coach? I can't remember his name right now.
Tom Herman.
Yes, they should have given Tom Herman more time. Yeah, you just gotta when you haven't had really an elite coach since Mac Brown, like consistently, you gotta start trying to like rush the process after this point. Like, sure, after like Charlie Strong or whatever, okay, that's fine because you were still expecting that. But like now at this point, you gotta accept that's gonna take a little time. Like to rebuild the program completely to where it's being an elite, where you're constantly playing against Oklahoma, like as elite and like going at least 10 wins every year. So I just think Texas fans need to just accept that. I mean, I know it's like for a big program like that, but it just takes time, a little time. It took a couple of years for Dan Mullen at Florida. I mean, last year he took in the SEC championship game. I mean, look how long it took Dabo Swinney at Clemson. He had to completely build that program up from the ground up.
But the thing is, Andrew, like you look at the issues over at USC, or not USC. Who was it? Florida State. I mean, they got Mike Norvell. I think Mike Norvell is a good coach, but the thing is, fans are so used to Florida State being good and dominant that they aren't going to be because the thing with Florida State is the fans put so much pressure on the university that they feel like if they don't go to a bowl game or aren't in the playoff in the first 2 years, then they just need to fire the coach.
Well,
that's the issue.
No, I agree, but the thing I'm going to say, I say the same thing with Florida State. You are just, especially after what happened with the other last coach, can't remember his name now either. You guys got he was at USF before. I can't remember.
Charlie Strong. Charlie
no,
Strong. Wasn't
he was at
Florida State. It was Willie Taggart.
Yeah,
Willie Taggart. Okay.
Yeah, so like after what happened with Willie, it's the same thing. You got to kind of start building up from the ground up. Yes, they're used to winning, but that's the thing. With Mike Norvell, you got to build it, kind of start over and build from the ground up. I mean, look at Florida State's recruiting class right now. It's a top 10 recruiting class. You just got to trust the process. If you fire Mike Norvell now, that recruiting class is going to go down the crap. You just got to let get his recruits. And look, Florida State's on a 2-game winning streak, by the way, over So they're finally, I think, starting to build it up. I mean, they haven't really gotten blown out in really any game for the most part this season. They've been close in a lot of their games. I mean, they almost beat Notre Dame. They almost beat Louisville. You know, obviously the Jacksonville State loss is not good. But, you know, the Virginia head coach, I cannot remember head coach's names today. I remember his first game, I believe they lost to a 1AA school or FCS school. And now Virginia, I mean, 2 years ago, look at it. They're a lot better than they were before he got there. So,
I mean, I'll say this too. Like this is a famous phrase. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it's got to be.
Exactly. I mean, after 2010, after the year Clemson's first full year under Dabo, when they made it to the ACC championship game, they went like 6-7 the year after that. And people were calling for Dabo's head. And what happens the year after that? They win the ACC championship game. So you just got to give it time for your Texas. But also another thing about this game we got to talk about, the Oklahoma QB situation. And I want to first talk about the way Lincoln Riley is handling the press here. This man is trying to be way too protective of Spencer Rattler's ego because he won't let Oklahoma players talk to the press. And he's just so scared of losing him to transfer. I mean, it's gonna happen at one point or another. You gotta do. At some point he's gonna. If Rattler keeps playing the way he's been playing, you can't start him. You gotta play Caleb Williams. But I don't know. After he got benched last year, he started playing better. But what do you guys think? Who do you think? What do you think of the situation here?
Yeah. So here's the biggest thing. He got benched last year in this exact game. And then won the rest of the games and played phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So, is that going to happen this year? I don't see it because last year they didn't have a kid like Caleb Williams come in and just absolutely light it up in his first snaps, really, of the season. So, I mean, for me, I think that Caleb Williams needs to start next week. But you're right. Lincoln Riley is 100% protecting Spencer Rattler's ego here and wants him to stay because the minute that Caleb Williams, if he does, starts to struggle, I don't think there's going to be a second thought in Lincoln Riley's mind that he's going to put in Spencer Rattler. Having two quarterbacks in one offense is, I mean, great for Oklahoma. I mean, they had it with Baker and Kyler Murray on the same team. So obviously Kyler never had to come in, but they had that situation where they had two Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks on the same squad. And I'm sure that was like Candyland for Lincoln Riley. He absolutely loved that. So it could be the same situation. My opinion, 100%, is that we're going to see Spencer Rattler at either – I honestly, deep down, think he's going to be at UCLA next season. But, I mean, who knows? Could see him in the green and yellow, too. I'd take that.
Brian?
Looking at this quarterback situation, in my opinion, I would hope that now I'm drawing a blank. Who's the coach for Oklahoma?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Okay. I would hope Lincoln Riley is smarter than Brian Kelly and doesn't start the worst of the two quarterbacks, because I think Caleb Williams is better than Spencer Rattler. But knowing how much Spencer Rattler has the hype around him, is a high draft pick, projected to be a first-round draft pick, probably not anymore. He's going to start Spencer Rattler, which I think is the completely wrong decision. But I agree with Lucas, what's going to happen? He's going to transfer. I don't think it's going to be to UCLA. I think if he goes anywhere, it's going to be to a contending team.
He's such a UCLA kid, though. Just look at him. He's such a Josh Rosen looking ass.
Oh my god.
No, I honestly, if I could see him transferring, I could see him transferring to maybe another Big 12 school, honestly. I mean, look at how many teams are in the Big 12.
Are there
may need a quarterback?
Are there still restrictions on interconference transferring, or is it just full reign now?
I think it's almost at this point. They're going to basically grant you it, whatever.
I mean, you know where I would see, where he could succeed? Texas Tech with the air raid. I could see Spencer Rattler going to Texas Tech.
Yeah, because he's just not a mobile quarterback. And just in Lincoln Riley's offense, you need to be a mobile quarterback somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. I think also, yeah, I don't want to use I'm going to refrain from using political words, but Lincoln Riley is being very soft, to say the least.
Spencer Rattler is a very soft.
Yeah, he has such a big ego for himself, but it's also what I've heard. Literally, he's from Arizona, and our good buddy Blake Harris said the dude, a lot of people from his high school went to ASU, and a lot of them said he was a douche. And speaking of which, look who decided to go. Connor is back. Connor, you're just in time. We are talking about the Oklahoma quarterback situation.
I have to applaud the Oklahoma student writer who he climbed a public building and used binoculars to look into the practice and saw that Caleb Williams was taking first team reps. That guy's. And then he got quotes. He got quotes from Spencer Rattler's dad, and I can't remember who else. But Lincoln Riley is now not allowed any media availability the rest of the week.
We actually just talked about that. Funny enough,
that's just
great. I did want to
Um,
mention this really quick, just before you go, Connor, because I don't know if you guys have, but I've kind of followed Spencer Rattler ever since he was in high school, through the Netflix show QB1 Beyond the Lights.
Oh yeah.
And just watching how he was on that show, very arrogant. I think he.
Oh, is that the one when he's in high school and stuff?
Yes, he was in the same season as Justin Fields, and just the difference between him and Fields and how they acted. And Spencer Rattler had a bunch of off the field stuff while in high school, where his family actually kind of paid people off not to report on it, so no one knows what he did get suspended for his final senior year.
I guess suspended for the entire season?
Yes, he got suspended for his entire senior season for off-the-field issues and violation of team rules, which his family.
Drugs.
It was one of those
it's plenty of
Notre Dame team rules
to describe him, but I mean, I will say this: Caleb Williams. I said this. He looks like a mix between what did I say? Patrick Mahomes and I think I said Kyler. He has Kyler's face and Mahomes' hair kind of thing going on. It's kind of funny. I did a double take when I saw Caleb Williams with his helmet on because I was I swore I thought that was Mahomes for a second. Then he ended up playing like Mahomes anyway. So
yeah, I mean, I just don't like what Lincoln Riley's doing about this situation. He's not helping. If anything, he's making it worse. He's just gonna.
He's taking the Brian Kelly approach of not telling who's starting.
No, stop! Do not get Ryan on that.
Oh, was he ranting about that earlier? I wasn't.
No, good. He has it, and I'm going to stop him from doing that. No. That is not it right now, Chief. Sorry. No. But yeah.
No, wait, I should be the one ranting because my team blew a lead a game that we should have won.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Jack Cohn is the best quarterback in college football at the 2-minute drill. Like that's literally the best QB you could have in that situation.
Back to the Oklahoma thing for a second. Dare I say that Spencer Rattler is Tate Martell?
No.
Like,
nah, he's a little
not
better.
quite.
Listen.
Spencer's actually started a season. Tate, I don't think he started more than 3 games in his entire career.
I know. Okay, but that's because apparently Lincoln Riley can't see what what's his face saw in Tate Martell that he was
Tate
trash.
Martell started a game. I thought he came in.
He started for you. He started
I don't
2 or 3
know.
games for UNLV, and they got injured. And I think he's.
Oh, okay.
He never played. He never started. He never started for Ohio State. He never started for Miami.
But it was one of those things where he was like in that show that Ryan was talking about. He did that was with him and Jake Fromm, and it was like the same thing. Yeah, it was like the same thing. Like Jake Fromm was like this nice, like, you know, Southern kid that was always like super polite and, you know, really good. And then you had Tate Martell, which he grew up in a mansion, had all like everything given to him, didn't matter. And then you can see obviously who did better when they got into into college football. And it's the same thing here. Like Spencer Rattler and Justin Fields. Justin Fields had a way better career than Spencer Rattler's already having, and it's the same situation.
I agree. And I think that Rattler's just – he's not
Have you
going
already
to be
talked about where you guys think he's going to go?
They say – Lucas said UCLA. Ryan, what'd you say again?
Texas Tech.
That's a fair – I'll go with Ryan on Texas Tech. I kind of like that one. I think
the gunslinger, yeah.
Yeah,
would you say he'd be the biggest player to go into the transfer portal since that kind of became a thing? Or do you think like Kelly Bryant was in terms of like impact?
Kelly Bryant's not even the biggest one. Whoa. Did we just did Jalen Hurts just like die? Did Jalen Hurts just die?
Hurts. I forgot about him.
Yeah. I would say that.
I guess that's because of how forgettable his entire time in Oklahoma was because they got destroyed by LSU.
I would say
Anthony Brown.
I'd say Hurts.
Definitely. No. You know who is though? I'll tell you, and I can't remember his name right now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's the kid from Wake Forest to Georgia who never played.
I know
he
exactly who you're talking about.
Jamie Freeman.
Jamie Newman.
Yeah, dude, he was a big time transfer and never played it down at Georgia.
Or you know who also, I don't know. You know who also is a big time one that we forgot about? Kenneth Walker. This man went from UCLA to Wake Forest, I believe, and then now he's just killing it at Michigan State.
He leads the league. He leads the nation in rushing.
I mean, he deserves it. He's playing great. But enough of this QB situation. We need to talk about this top 5 matchup that went down. Iowa and Penn State. Let's be real. If Sean Clifford doesn't get hurt in this game, I think Penn State wins by double digits easily. I would say maybe even win by 17 because they were just getting destroyed. And like Iowa and Petrus was just not doing anything. I mean, shoot, they barely won even with their backup even getting Penn State 3 points, and he just looked like dog doo, even though Penn State wasn't utilizing him properly. Now the question is is Iowa overrated at number 2 right now, or they deserve to be number 2 right now?
They're definitely overrated, and I called this game before it happened. I said that Penn State was going to destroy Iowa, and they were absolutely destroying them until Taquan Robertson came in and didn't know how to play football. So it's like I knew this was going to happen. I knew Penn State was going to smash them. Now, Penn State, I did my predictions for you guys in the chat a couple days ago. Penn State, I don't think they're going to recover from this. If Sean Clifford stays getting injured. I don't think they're going to recover. Yeah, right. But I definitely think Iowa's way overrated, and they're going to end up if they do go undefeated and win the Big Ten, it's going to be another slaughter in the college football playoff. They're going to get destroyed by one of the top 4 teams in the country.
So it would be like another Washington from
another
Michigan State,
Ohio State.
I forgot about that because Michigan State and Iowa were both undefeated.
Yeah. Well, whoever was going to win that game was going to get smacked by Alabama anyway. And then we don't even know if Iowa's even going to make it because they're still going to have to. I mean, yeah, they have a cakewalk, probably the Big Ten championship game, but
yeah, because they're in the West, they don't have to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's no guarantee that even if they get the one loss, there's no guarantee they're going to make it.
But even if they do, they don't have a better roster, and I'm saying this right now, 100% do not have a better roster than either Ohio State or Michigan. Not even close.
Well, I'd say their defense equalizes pretty well. I'd say
their defense is the best in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, it is. But their offense is arguably the worst in the Big Ten. So
yeah, I think I saw someone.
I don't know.
I think I saw their offense.
I mean, they literally remind me of Clemson. They literally remind me of Clemson. A great defense this year, but the offense is very meh. Like Petrus
and running back is really.
I'd say Clemson's offense is even better than Iowa's.
Let's not go quite that far.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch right now.
At least Iowa can run the ball.
Clemson ran for over 200 yards in their last game, so watch your mouth. But
against Boston College.
Okay,
Ryan's
you know what?
Mouth needs to be sewn shut at some point.
On Lucas's, reminder, guys. Lucas said that Texas was going to lose and choke this game. I hadn't forgot about this. And I said if Oklahoma came back to win, you said that Oklahoma was going to come back and win during the Texas game.
Oh yeah, I did.
And I said if they did, I'm going to chop your balls off. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy my ticket so I can come out to Oregon. I'm going to chop your balls off.
I deserve that because
Andrew was pissed when it was 28-7. He was so mad at Lucas.
Yeah, because I was like, what happened or why I had a feeling. I was like, I don't know if it was a turnover that Texas had or something, but I was just like, Oklahoma.
They didn't have a turnover until the fumble on that kickoff. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just had a feeling that Oklahoma was going to come back in this game, and because I've seen it so many times where Oregon has done the same stuff. It hasn't been 28-7, that's for sure. But like they've done the same kind of thing where they'll take a decent lead and then coast and then barely win games or even lose games against teams like Stanford. So I just had a feeling, and you know what? I'll take the ball snipping for that because that sucks. I apologize. I apologize to everyone for predicting this.
All right,
we wanted Oklahoma to lose.
Right now.
We wanted Oklahoma to lose so bad,
dude.
And I jinxed it. Ruined it.
I missed everything, but obviously we've been talking smack about Oklahoma the entire time.
We still will be. It's not like this is over. Oklahoma's still overrated. They should have not jumped up 2 spots. If anything, Texas should not be in the top 25. Like I don't know how the heck after that choke job. Like, geez, dude, that was ridiculous. But anyway, back to Iowa. Sorry, I just completely forgot that. Completely popped my head. Iowa I just don't. Yeah, they have a good running game, but like Petrus is not good. I'm sorry, man. He's just not good. He started up 1 for 9. I mean, yeah, and then I guess throwing 2 touchdown passes, but like there was a lot of times they were having to settle for field goals. I mean, if Penn State had utilized Robinson's ability to run the ball and run more read option, which they should have, I don't know what. Like the one drive they did, they got a field goal out of it. Had they done that, I don't think Iowa wins this football game. They just this dude could not throw the ball to save his life. There was 2 times when they had the chance to finally march down the field and at least tie the game late, and they said, okay, let's just throw it to a wide open guy and just overthrow it. Right. But yeah, that's just really it.
Well timed, bruh.
Go ahead, Connor, and give your opinion on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think their defense is the second best in the country behind Georgia's. I mean, they lead the country in interceptions with 16. Their streak of giving up more than 25 points is still going on. So as long as their offense doesn't even have to be average. It can be below average like it was for most of that game. As long as it can still run the ball pretty good, because they have Goodson and he's pretty good as a running back. I think they can win. But because it's going to be such a cakewalk, at least through the West, it will be really interesting how they match up and play whoever they play coming out of the East, because you have Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Michigan State all in the East fighting for that. And those 4 teams are in the top 10 or top 12 total. So, it'll be interesting. But for now, I mean, they should have a clear path to Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship at least.
Also, where the national championship will be this year. Fun fact.
Oh, it's in Indy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, but it's interesting because
disgusting stadium, by the way.
Really?
Petrus is not a good quarterback.
Lucas Oil?
It's not Lucas Oil.
Your name's in it. I thought you would like it just because of that.
No, screw the Colts.
You're a Titans fan. You hate the Colts, right?
You like my unicorn?
Nice. You probably hate the Colts just as much as Ravens fans hate the Colts. Actually, I want to
Dude.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I forgot.
I just want to say something real quick. That could have been probably one of the best games to ever go to.
I was at it.
Like, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, how awesome is it that you were at that game when you guys were just getting torched and they came back? I'm sorry, that's not college football, but I had to say something.
But I mean, they did struggle against a 1-4 team. I mean, to be fair,
Carson Wentz is back.
Oh, like how the Broncos struggled. They lost to the Steelers.
We're not
We're on the Titans.
Okay.
We're on the lost to the Jets.
Oh.
All right, back to college football. Let's go.
All right. Enough with the Iowa. We're gonna. All right, unless
I
Ryan has something. Oh, Ryan, go ahead then. My bad.
But no. I was gonna just say that I think Iowa is still the second best team in the Big Ten. I think Michigan State is the best team in the Big Ten right now. That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I really think Michigan State is like.
I kind of like that.
I respect Michigan State. I love what Mel Tucker's doing, but I cannot get behind that.
I mean, everyone is just talking about Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan,
Michigan
and
State's
Iowa.
just kind of back there with the best running back in the country and a really good wide receiver in Naylor.
And their defense isn't slacking either. Their defense
their defense struggled against Western Kentucky, if I remember correctly.
That's Western Kentucky. I mean, unless you're Georgia or Iowa, a lot of teams will struggle against them because they have a really
Western
good
Kentucky
offense.
put 50 points on Indiana.
I saw someone. Their quarterback for Western Kentucky is like leading the country in passing yards per game. It's like over 450 yards passing per game, and they're like,
wait. Did like Mike Leach just like clone himself and like go?
No, but the quarterback, he has like I saw someone. He has like 2,300 passing yards in like 6 games. I saw someone who's like 23 touchdowns, like 5 interceptions. What their quarterback has.
Well, I think
their defense is so bad that it's like the Chiefs. Their defense is so bad that they keep losing shootouts.
Well, I think
I want to point something out.
Good.
Well, I want to point something out about Iowa, and it's that they only play 2 more teams. There's only 2 teams on the rest of their schedule that have a winning record, and that is Purdue at 3-2 and Minnesota at 3-2. So let's. But however, I do think Nebraska is a lot better than 3-4.
Yes, I think
agree.
that's
that's the last game of the season for them.
That's the last game.
Week 13. So I mean,
the Heroes game.
Crazy stuff can happen.
I think that's a trap game. I mean, Nebraska is. I agree with Lucas. Nebraska is a lot better than the record.
Well, I mean, that's the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, before the Big
Iowa?
Conference Championship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if I was looking ahead if they've strolled on through and they already have their spot secured. Because there's no other team that's challenging them. I don't know who else is even close to challenging them in the division.
No.
So,
But no, like I was saying, but no, I think it's like we talked about it earlier. I think it could be another Iowa Michigan State Big Ten championship game.
It could.
Another grind fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to go get annihilated in the college football playoff.
So,
And
something
also,
that I just saw, FPI has Iowa at 53.4% chance to beat Nebraska right now.
That's not surprising at all.
53.4. It's almost an even game.
That's a push. I mean, if that game was playing right now, that's probably what, a 1 point favorite for Iowa.
Yeah.
But the thing is, do you trust Martinez to not turn the ball over?
I trust him more than Petrus, 100%.
He's only turned the ball over 3 times.
I'll take Martinez over Petrus.
I know, but
actually, no, 4 times.
I think Michael Penix is better than Martinez, and I think
I guess
Iowa's defense made Penix look like a random Joe at the supermarket.
we're getting into this,
but then also Iowa just lose one of their best DBs last game after he made that pick. He hurt himself on the celebration, if I remember correctly. It looked like a torn ACL. The way he was grabbing his knee, that looked like torn ACL.
Oh, when the non-contact injury, where he was yeah, that was pretty gnarly.
If they lose him, that could really hurt them down the stretch.
I gotta point something out too, since we're on the Big Ten right now. Ohio State might have the hardest upcoming schedule in all of college football.
Good. I hope they lose 3 out of those 4.
They have. if they win out and Oregon wins out, they can be in it because.
Oh yeah.
They play.
If Ohio State wins out regardless, they should get in it.
Well, they win the conference, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, because we had the argument last week about if Ohio State goes 12-1 and Oregon goes 12-1, Oregon should be in it over them. But Ohio State has Indiana, then they have Penn State, Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, and Michigan.
Michigan State and Michigan back to back. That's tough.
Ooh. Man.
In there, the second, who is it at Nebraska or is it at Ohio State?
I believe it's at Nebraska. Yeah, it's at Nebraska.
Well, wait, where's the Michigan State-Michigan game? Are those?
That's at the Horseshoe.
They're both at the Horseshoe?
Both games at the Horseshoe?
No, Michigan is in
Ann Arbor. Oh, I don't know if. Ooh, that'll be interesting.
If we get a top 5 matchup in the Horseshoe between Michigan State,
it'd be like 2006.
No, screw Michigan. No,
no. He doesn't want to see
Michigan.
No.
Let's move. All
right. Enough of this. I was gonna say add another segment of like who can beat Georgia, but I'm gonna say right now nobody. I think we can all agree.
Probably now.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
So anyway, no, because I'm gonna be at that game. Georgia doesn't lose the games I'm at. Never happened. Never will. I after watching them lose, Clemson lose to them, it's just it can't happen, and that's gonna happen this weekend again. But anyway, regardless of that, time for our regrets of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and start with mine. I should have trusted my gut. I should have picked Boise State. The only reason I don't think I did was because it was in Provo, but Boise State finally showed what I thought they could be this year. Khalil Shakir, he didn't have that great of a game, but he had one insane catch like at the end to like kind of help seal the deal. This dude's going to be insane in the NFL. I really hope the Falcons somehow get him. I love watching this guy.
Who?
The Khalil Shakir. I don't know if you've seen him play this year, but he's like an insane wide. He's a wide receiver.
Oh, wide receiver. Okay.
Yeah, he can not only he's just got great athleticism and he can make plays on the open field catching the ball. But
he's probably the second best receiver in the country right now after Kashawn Boot or whatever his name is went out for the season.
Yeah. I mean, Shakir is he's so good. I'm sorry I doubted you, Boise State. I should have known when I saw they were wearing the black helmets. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Also, those BYU uniforms were ugly. I don't
What?
like
Yeah.
them. I didn't
I
like them.
love the all navy.
Nah,
Yes.
nah, dude.
Yes.
I like they look better with the light blue. That's just those.
And to be honest, Coster, you did say in the chat that Boise State, and you've been saying that Boise State is a lot better than their record. Like you kind of shot yourself in the
100%.
foot there.
Yeah, I said if it was at Boise, I would have taken them. So I was so close to switching it too. I was like, you know what, whatever. But yeah, sorry, Boise. It's funny enough. I actually played them in my dynasty today in NCAA, and I beat them with Purdue. So yeah.
Okay, so my regret of the week is Rutgers, thinking that they're actually decent and they're terrible actually.
Well, they got what? The 3 hardest games back to back. They had what? Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State.
Yes.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal.
That's
brutal.
tough.
I don't know if any of those teams, if they played against each other, would actually be able to come out unscathed if those 3 teams had either of those schedules.
No.
So here's
Michigan.
The reason why they are my regret, though, is why did I pick them over Michigan State? That's my problem.
You picked them to win. Oh,
I picked them to win.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I was just like,
because I thought they weren't a bad team. I really thought they weren't a bad team, and I thought they were going to come back after getting slaughtered by Ohio State and have like a good bounce back game over a top. They were ranked 11 at the time. Opponent. So,
well, weren't they? It was a pretty close game from what I remember. It wasn't the
31-13 isn't exactly close, but
well, I mean, it was. I saw it was close at one point. It was like 17-13, and then it just kind of. I think it got away from them.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
They were leading at one point. Michigan State was choking for a good portion of that game.
We all know the reason that Lucas picked them to win, though, is because the week before they played the best team in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, he wanted Michigan State to lose,
or 2 weeks ago, and Michigan only beat them 20-13. I know football math doesn't work.
Football math does not work.
Football math doesn't work. That's not why I picked them.
Property.
I picked them because we were kind of high on them at the beginning of the season because they were actually playing well. They were 3-0, and I thought they were going to have a bounce back game. I thought they were better, and they have a decent coach. I can't remember his name, but he's a good coach. Yeah, Greg Schiano. He's a good coach. So, I figured they would have a bounce back game against a Michigan State team that I was not sure about until this last week. And then Kenneth Walker and Naylor put up 500 total yards just then.
Didn't Naylor have 3 touchdown catches of over 60 yards? It's like 63, 65.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Yeah,
so Walker had the longest play from scrimmage in
Michigan State history, 94 yards.
Yep.
And then
I
think
Greg Schiano, though, to its defense, I think he has Rutgers going in the right direction. It's just, when you've been down for so long as Rutgers has been, it takes time. It's like I've been saying this whole time. Just like it's kind of like a trust the process kind of thing.
But that's why they're my regret team.
Yeah, but we've seen what Greg Schiano can do at Rutgers back in the 2000s. Like he had them at his good program. Like in 2006 they had a 10 wins
stuff in the mid 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. So But Connor, your regret of the week.
Well, I was looking through who I picked, and I was kind of struggling to decide. I will say it probably is Texas. I think I just picked them only because I thought that Oklahoma was worse than their ranking. I still kind of think that, especially with what's going on with the quarterback problem, as you guys were talking about when I came in. They still are. So, and that's something that will come up during the pick'ems is, I wasn't sure. I'm not entirely sure how Texas is going to bounce back either. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if their entire season gets derailed because of this loss. How
that's fair.
Bad of a loss it was and stuff. So
has their Twitter account tweeted yet?
Huh?
Has their Twitter account tweeted yet? I know it'd been a couple of days and they hadn't
tweeted since they were up since they got the touchdown to tie.
Yeah.
Or at least it was like that's they hadn't tweeted until I think well into Sundays when I saw that.
They tweeted it on October 12th.
So yesterday.
But
did they have anything between that and the touchdown, or was
they did? Yeah, they finally tweeted on the 11th.
So 2 full days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think I took Texas just because I didn't trust Oklahoma that much, and I still really don't trust them, especially with the quarterback problem. And Texas, I don't know what to think. They could either rise to the occasion and, build off of it, or this loss will completely destroy their season. And that's what made the pick-em between them and Oklahoma State so difficult for me this week, but we'll find out later.
That's fair. Ryan?
All right, so my regret of the week is going to be thinking that Louisville wouldn't choke a 30-13 fourth quarter lead. For whatever reason, me and Andrew, I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that pick Louisville in this game.
Yes.
And
I picked Virginia.
like,
Yeah, me too.
we give Coster, all the crap in the world for the 28-3 Falcons choking. But 30-14.
No. The Colts now have a 22-3. You can use that now instead. Lucas can use that.
But 30-14 in the fourth quarter. I mean, you mean to tell me you can't hold off Virginia for 15 minutes? I mean, Malik Cunningham. It's like the same thing with Texas and Oklahoma. Louisville played really well and was the better team for 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, Malik Cunningham forgot how to throw the ball. The O-line forgot how to block. And the Louisville defense just, didn't cover. And Brennan Armstrong, that fourth quarter, he's got a great stat line. But all his stats came in the fourth quarter. I was really high on this Louisville team because I think they're still one of the best teams in the ACC. I think they're better than what their record says. But, I mean, how? How do you blow a 30-14 lead?
Well, they came very close to the weekend before, remember, being Wake. So, yeah, I agree their record's better than it shows.
Yeah.
And then it's just the biggest meme in the world that you forget to play offense and defense the fourth quarter, and then they get that final drive. Malik Cunningham has 20-something seconds and gets them in field goal range, and the kicker just misses it wide left. Not even close.
I'm gonna say this about Armstrong. I know he's a lefty, but dare I say that he has a more disgusting throwing motion than Lonzo Ball's shot. I mean, let's be real.
I've never seen it.
It's
pull it up.
So
what is he talking about?
Brennan Armstrong's throwing motion. It is so strange to me.
Let me look for it. Hold on.
He short arms it like Aaron Rodgers, but he's lefty, so it's weird.
So it kind of looks like. Does it kind of look like Phillip Rivers?
Does it look like Tim Tebow?
Kind of Tebow-ish, but he's got a stronger arm.
No one's as bad as Tebow, and I'm a lefty too.
Hey, don't disrespect Tebow. He won me a playoff game.
Oh my gosh!
Good, dear God,
get out of here! Get him out of here!
Get him out
of here! Get him out of here! Get him out of here, coach!
The only Denver drafted quarterback to win a playoff game, by the way.
Still more than any Raiders quarterback in the last 20 years.
What did you say?
Tebow has won more playoff games than the Raiders have in the last 20 years.
Okay. Congrats. The Raiders right now are a shit show.
I love that. He's allowed to swear. It's his show.
I don't know. They have a pretty good coach.
Normally I don't, but
or had.
Normally I wouldn't say that, but I mean, let's be real. What happened there, that's really the only way to describe it. I'm sorry, I can't.
So does this mean Gruden's going to be hired back at ESPN?
I mean, considering that's where the emails came from, no. But anyway, guys, enough of that. It's time for stunners and bummers. Oh man, there was a bunch of good players we could have done this week. So, Lucas, we'll start with you.
All right, I'm gonna start it off with my stunner of the week, and that is going to be Hendon Hooker. He is my stunner of the week, and it's not just because of this week. And Connor has done this before with
Fuente for making him leave.
I know, and which is crazy. I got some cool
ridiculous.
stats for you.
He started 2 different quarterbacks over him in the 2 years that he was at Virginia Tech, and then he decided, cool, I'm just going to transfer out because you decided to start 2 transfers over me, and they were. We're
gonna ignore the fact that there's highlight shows going live in 30 minutes. Hendon Hooker this past week, he was.
I thought people would go to the competition, even though we.
How dare you get? You just gave him a free promo. All right, you're in timeout. You're in timeout. Don't do that again.
Let me talk about Hendon Hooker for a minute. So Hendon Hooker this last weekend, 17 for 23, 225 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had 20 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. And I know that it was against not a very good Missouri team, but he has
South Carolina.
Or South Carolina, that's right. He played Missouri.
Which may be extra half. Excellent. Go, Rocky Top. Woo! That's because they beat South Carolina.
The real USC.
You want to go to timeout too?
Dude, I don't understand. They've been around longer than Southern California.
Southern Cal won the lawsuit. I don't care. It's like Dabo Swinney once said, Carolina is in Chapel Hill, and USC is in California.
My internet just broke for a second. My bad.
That's probably
put him in timeout. That's what he gets. That's his timeout.
No, okay. So no. Let me go in on Hendon Hooker for a second. So this season he has 16 total touchdowns and 1 turnover, 13 passing touchdowns. He has so far this year he has 21 less completions than his career high at Virginia Tech in a season. Just under 500 less passing yards in which was his previous record. And he has tied his most touchdown passes in a season while he was at Virginia Tech. So I don't know
what they were doing, according to Justin Fuente.
In rushing wise, he is just 338 yards short of his career high, and he's only 5 games in. 6 less rushing touchdowns, which will be a little bit harder to get, but I think he is going to end up doing it. Just kind of shows you how he was not used correctly in Virginia Tech. And I'm sorry, Connor, but it was
not that he wasn't used correctly. He actually did really well for us. It's just that every time he's been a quarterback, he's always been chosen over to start. So Ryan Willis transferred in when Hooker was going to start, and Willis started. He gets injured. Hooker then plays in 2019. Burmeister comes in that last year, starts, gets injured. No, then he does really bad against UNC. Hooker comes in and does really well, then gets injured, and Burmeister comes back in. And then he transfers out. And he didn't even start the season with Tennessee. He didn't start the first game.
So, yeah, it was dude from Michigan. I can't remember his name because he's trash.
It was Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. Yeah, he's terrible. But Hendon Hooker's having a great season, and so he's my stunner of the week. My bummer of the week is probably the biggest bummer of the week, and that is Taquan Robertson. I know it's a really really tough job to come in and play in a for Penn State, the quarterback for Penn State.
I know it's a really tough job. It's Caleb Williams, to be fair.
For who?
I said not every backup quarterback is Caleb Williams.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
But it is very hard. But to go 7 for 21, 34 passing yards and 2 interceptions. He also had 10 carries for 27 yards.
He is not.
I mean, it's just terrible. I don't know if it was the offense that was making him so bad or what. He just can't run that offense. But he's 11 on his career. In his 2 seasons that he has been at Penn State, he's 11 for 29 passing, which is not good, in case you were wondering.
And he's their future quarterback as of right now.
But they still almost beat Iowa. Iowa's trash.
Thanks to Sean Clifford.
Sean Clifford still had 2 picks. But
Okay, but they at least scored.
let's talk
touchdowns.
about the QB room at Penn State. How is it so bad that they kept this kid in after what he did in this
You know
game?
what's crazy is Clifford is, despite how they were playing with him, he's not very good either.
He's not
great.
He's a
but-
game manager, and he can win games.
He's
with
not
their
even that good of a
defense.
game manager. His career completion percentage is like 60%, and that's the Penn State's all-time career record. It's like 60.4. I'm like, that is not a very good history of good quarterbacks.
Okay, to
That's
be
your
fair,
record for Penn
can't all
State.
be Trace McSorley. All right, let's be
McSorley
real.
didn't even have that.
But
if I
Trace
remember
McSorley wasn't
Dude.
even that good at Penn State either.
Hey, don't disrespect Trace McSorley.
No offense.
I'm allowed to because I'm
I
a
like
Ravens
watching McSorley.
I'm a
though,
Ravens
but-
fan, and we had him, so we can
Throw
just
it
respect
on
him.
time.
Or actually, no, we don't.
Yeah, Ryan's seen.
We actually like him.
So, but I don't understand how you can have such a bad quarterback room if you're going to continue to play. I mean, who's the third string? Was he just not ready, or
No.
what was the point of this? Why? I mean, run Wildcat the entire game.
You could
That
run
would've been
Wildcat with
better.
Roberson. Roberson could run the ball.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah, bro. The one drive they scored points with him. They were running a read option with him, and he was just running. He was running by guys, like getting at least 10 yards.
10
a pop.
carries for 27 yards isn't.
Well, because he was getting sacked. You have to remember sacks.
Yeah, sacks
Well-
counts against rushing. So he probably
Yeah,
had
but I just
more.
Because
I don't know.
They didn't. Besides that one drive, they did not really run him with the read
it's
option.
still. It was still kind of just like I
They
couldn't
didn't
tell.
play to his strengths. That's what happened. And Lucas froze.
He went to
No,
he's
no, I'm
is he
reading
the
this.
quarterback in
Oh.
Kentucky.
Oh,
Will Levis. Yeah, that's
Trey
true.
Levis is the starting quarterback at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So, but still, how was that quarterback room so bad? I don't understand it. But Penn, I don't know. I don't know. It's terrible. He's definitely gonna be, he's not gonna be getting any in the next couple weeks. I'll just say that
no.
Okay,
after that
Connor?
performance.
my two are tied, and are tied together. And I'm guessing if I say one, you can guess the other. My stunner is Caleb Williams, so you can guess my bummer.
The Texas defense.
Can't
Can't blame you. I can't blame you.
No, I mean, yeah, that was a good choice. I had to think really hard and long about that one. But Caleb Williams came in over 300 yards. I think was it passing or total offense by himself. Had that 66-yard run on the 4th and 1. That kind of allowed them to kind of build that momentum when they were down 28-7. And they were just making crazy good throws, along with some really good catches by his wide receivers. That catch by was it Mims?
Yeah.
Where the only thing out of bounds was his shoelace.
Yeah, that was
that
insane.
was a great shot as well, showing that he was in bounds. But obviously you guys were talking about it earlier. Potential QB controversy. We'll have to see what happens. Of course, my bummer is Spencer Rattler because we have no idea what's going to happen now. Will he be starting this week? Will he be the backup? If he's the backup, is he going to decide to sit out the rest of the season and transfer out? Where would he go if that happens? So, but it seemed like every time he played Texas, at least the past 2 years, he struggled. I mean, it pretty much was the exact same. He threw a bad pick and then had a fumble in both games in the first half. And it very eerily similar. If they actually show the tape of both plays from both games, they are very eerily similar to each other. So his hype is completely gone for Rattler. At least for a first overall pick or even a first round pick. I don't even think he was worth that. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's fascinating, and it will dictate how well Oklahoma does going forward. Who they have the quarterback.
Fair. Ryan?
All right, so my stunner of the week is a guy that Lucas poo-pooed on after the Notre Dame game.
Oh no.
Jordan Travis, the Florida State quarterback, this past weekend against North Carolina, he was 11 for 13 passing for 3 touchdowns, 145 yards, and also had 14 rushes for 121 yards, 8.9 yards per carry, and 2 rushing touchdowns.
He is now FSU's all-time leading rusher for a quarterback.
Really? Even more than Charlie Ward. Yeah.
Over 2,000. Yep, just saw that. I saw that after the game.
Holy. Well, Charlie probably only played 2 years.
Who? Charlie who?
Charlie Ward.
Jordan has only played a year and a half.
Yeah, Jordan really didn't play much in 2019. It was still Blackman.
He didn't play much
Oh
in
my god, I
2020
forgot
either.
about Blackman. Oh my god.
That guy was terrible.
The dude who's like 175 pounds and like 6'7", so he literally has no muscle.
Clemson literally
when he played
annihilated
Bama,
that guy.
No,
when he played
Bama.
Clemson in 2017.
That hit against when Clemson
Trey
cracked him.
Lamar, yes.
Oh,
that dude
God.
literally, I don't know how he
was
survived
that
that.
the hit that Blackman took against Clemson?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Literally annihilated him.
I keep forgetting Francois was a lot longer ago than I thought it was, because that was what, 2016?
Well, Francois was still there during that time. I mean,
but he broke his leg,
He
so
got injured.
Yeah,
Blackman
that year.
starting.
Yeah.
But like Jordan Travis, he's gotten a lot of heat. I mean, he give this kid credit. He stuck through the hard times there. And I mean, for him to have, I know it's UNC. It's not like it's a top 25 team.
Oh, whoa. Who's this guy's name? Oh, my God.
Whoa.
Yo. All right. Delete. Blocked.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Very
we're not
bad
going to talk
things.
about it. I didn't even see the guy's name before I posted it. I thought the kill 'em all was in like. I thought it was foreign to Jordan.
No, I've
Travis.
seen it because somebody clicked. Like, I don't know if it was you, Andrew, on accident, but somebody.
I think that was me. I saw it and I tried to block him. I tried to actually.
We gotta get that off the screen.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's been
No,
gone.
I mean we gotta get it off the stream because I don't
I
know.
will. I'll go
Okay.
back and cut it. I'll go back and clip it out.
Okay.
What an idiot.
Who the heck
but-
would just do that?
Okay, whoa. Let me go back to Jordan Travis for a second. So I looked up his stats. So Jordan Travis actually has more games played than Charlie Ward did.
Interesting.
And I did not realize, 1,100 yards. That, isn't he like
Rushing or
tiny?
passing?
Rushing.
Already this season?
No, on his career.
Oh.
I was like,
What is
Wait,
this guy? Freaking Lamar Jackson?
Is this just for Ward or for Travis?
so that's for Travis at Florida State. I'm not counting his. I guess he has less than 1,100 if I don't count his Louisville stats.
I saw something though that he is. I saw something that it was like a tweet or something. I saw that he is the leading rusher.
Oh, he has more. He has more for sure. But
Ward.
I think he played more games.
Yeah. Ryan, who'd you say your bummer was?
So my bummer is Jaron Hall, the quarterback for BYU.
Yeah. He fumbled
One
bad.
touchdown, one interception, less than 200 yards passing, and only had 59% completion percentage. I mean, for a quarterback for the number 10 team in the country, he did not look good against a 2-3 Boise State team.
Don't disrespect the Broncos.
I like how you think. But
I
no,
really don't like Boise State. But continue.
You're just mad because freaking they got your boy LeGarrette Blount suspended.
Yeah, he doesn't like that just because of that.
Hey, we went to the Rose Bowl that year. I'm not even mad.
And lost to Ohio State.
What you should have is LeGarrette Blount punch one of your players every year at the start of the season. Guarantee you're going to win the championship game. Just like that NFL football player who would have one of his trainers slap him in the face as hard as he could before pregame.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like actually hit him.
Okay, continue, Ryan.
But no, I mean, he's got to be up there for one of the worst quarterbacks in the top 25. I mean, we gave Graham Mertz a bunch of crap. Maybe we should make a segment for the worst quarterback in the top 25 each week.
Jack Cohn.
But I mean, I was not impressed with BYU, and it made it worse because early on in the game, Lucas put in the group chat BYU.
Oh, dude, don't talk about it.
What did you say?
He said BYU is a playoff contender.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was early on in the game when they went up, I think 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But so yeah, there's my stunners and bummers of the week.
All right, well, that's a good one. I like that. All right, so my stunner of the week is a guy we mentioned already, Jalen Naylor, Michigan State wide receiver. 5 catches, 221 total yards or receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like, come on, man, that's insane. But wow, yeah, that was actually insane. So anyway, but my bummer on the meantime. The Alabama defense, man, they were so bad. I mean, yeah, they only gave up 34, but I mean, they just did not look good. I mean, they gave up what? A total? I mean, they actually outperformed Texas A&M. But they gave up 379 total yards. They just did not look that good. You know, I not Alabama like, you know. I just was very disappointed by Alabama's defense in there, but yeah.
One second, because I didn't get to it earlier. I would like to apologize to Zach Calzada. Last week on the show, I kind of torched you and played the video of nobody taking donuts from you. I have a feeling that people are going to be taking a lot more than donuts over the next couple weeks.
You see the video of the kicker's family?
Yes, that's
his girlfriend.
Cool. His girlfriend, yeah.
Was that his girlfriend, the really hot chick?
Awesome.
Yeah. That was incredible. But yeah,
is his mom blind or something? Because it looked like she just had her eyes closed, but then she started praying at the end.
Yeah,
that's probably why. She didn't want to. She was scared.
And watch.
She's gonna miss that.
All right.
Well, his girlfriend. So
that's our stunners and bummers of the weeks, guys. Now we gotta go to our meme teams of the week, and we're gonna start.
Can I go first?
Okay, hold on. Let me make it so you can go first.
Oh, we have it. Oh, okay.
Hold on, I got it. Here you go.
I mean, you mean mine's pretty dang easy to make a meme for.
Yeah.
Yep. UNC. Oh man, UNC.
I like the Tar Heels in basketball though. That makes me sad.
No. Oh yeah, no.
The ceiling is
Roy Williams this year.
The ceiling, the sky is the ceiling, or the ceiling.
The ceiling
is the, sky,
is the roof. The ceiling is the roof.
Sky is the roof. Ceiling is the roof or something. Yeah, UNC. You lost to Florida State. I think that just with how bad they've been, despite Jordan Travis being a stunner for Ryan, I think that just automatically make you a meme team. It's just hilarious how they were a top 10 team, dark horse contender for the playoff according to everybody, and now they aren't even going to win their own division because they are now 2 full games behind Virginia Tech. Just in the first couple weeks of the season. And I don't know what to think I mean, Sam Howell's balling, but is their defense that's not been doing very well. Their offense has been coming up and down too. I don't know where Howell's going to go in the draft, but I don't think he's going to be a number 1 overall pick or a top 10.
He's not going to be number 1 overall, but I don't think he's killed his
stock. He's not bad.
He hasn't killed his draft stock like
as bad as Rattler.
Yes.
But yeah, so unless someone gets really desperate, I don't think he's going in the top 10 because I can't really think of any teams in the top 10 currently in the NFL that kind of need a quarterback. Seems like most of them kind of do have one, like the Jags and the Jets and stuff like that. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. But
no quarterbacks going first this year. That wouldn't make sense.
Probably not. There's not even a true number 1, I don't think.
Right now, like quarterbacks wise,
Desmond Ritter.
I don't think there's a number 1 quarterback.
Well,
but number 1, it was Lawrence and then everyone else. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of in the bunch. There's not one that's separate.
Yeah, I would say that overall,
Matt Corral.
I would say that
Oh, who's gonna go draft a quarterback? The Jets are not gonna draft one. No.
I don't.
Jet-
Well, I
Jet-
mean,
Jags-
Pittsburgh's definitely going to take one in the first round for sure.
But they're not going to be the first overall pick. That's my point. Being it's like
No, you know what? No, Pittsburgh will probably draft O-line because they really need O-line.
Yeah,
They'll
they're
draft
gonna throw
either.
Big Ben.
They're
They're
not
gonna throw Big Ben out there one more season and just let him die even more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, I mean, depending on what goes on with Deshaun Watson, probably the Texans. But
Well, if anything, like the Texans will probably give Davis Mills the
to give
keys
him more of a
next year.
shot.
Yeah, and then
I mean, he's been doing okay.
the Steelers,
He's
if
all right.
anything, the Steelers will probably pick quarterback in round number 2 or 3.
Dude, Davis Mills
Yeah.
balled out the other day, though.
Yeah, he did.
That's against the Patriots,
so
though.
yeah, I don't
But-
know, but we'll have to see. I mean, that's a show we can do. That's months and
Yeah.
months out. We can do a
Uh-huh.
draft show. I think that'll be fun.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Lucas,
for sure.
you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. So, meme team of the week. Meme team of the week, the Oregon State Beavers.
Who they lose to?
They lost to Washington State.
Still the best team in Oregon.
Um,
Still the best team in Oregon.
so
No,
we
that
talk
won't
about
Man. Woo!
Ryan needs
we
to get
talked
out.
about last week where
they're going to
Ryan
timeout.
has been saying that Oregon State is the best team in Oregon, and
Cap.
now I can tell you that is 1,000,000% not true after losing to a not a good team.
Yeah, so
Um,
Ryan,
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Hey, you
Oregon-
know what? We'll see when they play Oregon.
We will, and it's going to be just like the other 20 times that Oregon has over.
It's just like that meme.
Oregon State.
Oregon won
But
up
not last
55.
year. But
Just-
not last year.
That's fine. We had Tyler Shuck. He sucked. Oregon State had won 4 straight after losing to Purdue in week 1. And then Nolan, their quarterback, had 2 of his 5 interceptions on the year against Washington State in this game. I don't know. I went back and looked at Washington State's record, and they actually don't look terrible. Their losses are against decent Pac-12 schools and just decent schools in general. So, I mean, they don't look awful, but they're definitely not. They're definitely lower down there in the pack. So it's just not a good look for Oregon State losing that game. And I know Oregon just lost to Stanford, but Stanford is significantly better than Washington State. And yeah, who knows? I was really bummed about this game actually because I really wanted Oregon State to be 10-1 by the time we played them. But yeah, Oregon State's just not good
Congratulations. You
again.
played yourself.
Yep.
yep. All right,
They're trash.
Ryan.
All right, so my meme team of the week is Texas.
The only fact
I mean, enough. We talked about it earlier. 30-13. You have a 21-point lead against Oklahoma, and they wet the bed in the second half. And you weren't here for this, Connor, but on this show, we just coined the phrase "longhorning." So that is now a thing.
Yes.
Clumpsoning is no longer a thing. It is.
It hasn't been a
longhorning.
thing for a while.
Losing to NC State counted.
for a
No,
while.
it doesn't.
You know what? You know what Andrew should do? He should start doing a Days of Our Tigers series.
Days of our
Days of our
Oh
Tigers.
dear God, no,
Uh,
absolutely not.
but I mean, this meme says it all.
So wait, what qualifies as longhorning in?
When you're supposed to do really good, or you get a big lead and then you fail and you fall flat on your face.
Yep.
I feel like that
and
should be for the season too. Like if you're supposed to be a really good team,
when you're
and
supposed to
then
be
you-
back and you're not.
Yeah.
Like losing to Oklahoma and then beating Oklahoma State to then lose to Kansas. That is longhorning.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some USC type joint.
They're not the real USC. It's SCU. So that's where I'm going for this week. And we talked about it more at the beginning of the show. But, yeah, Texas, you're not back. You will never be back.
They'll be back
Not
soon.
until they win the Big 12, which they have, 4 more years to do? And then they're gone.
Let's just say that when Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, it's going to be a rude awakening for both of them.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, Texas already got that with getting destroyed by Arkansas. So,
yeah.
But at least we get to see Oklahoma and Texas get destroyed by Alabama before the playoff. So that keeps them from ever being in the playoff to begin with. So,
all right. Yeah, Texas is not back. Horns down.
That's my favorite thing. Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews, one of their celebrations do this, and then the last thing you do, they do that. They do horns down at the end of their handshake.
The rivalry never dies. All right. And last but not least, it's my turn with Alabama.
Damn challenge.
Because that's all going drive.
Oh, man. I mean, Alabama's look shaky, but come on, man. You made Texas A&M look good. Let's be real. We all thought Texas A&M had all thought they had looked like dog poop all season. Barely beating Colorado, who, by the way, only has one win. So they beat them 10-7. They lose to Arkansas. They lose to Mississippi State, who they shouldn't have lost to. Arkansas, I'll give the benefit of the doubt because Arkansas is a good team. Mm-hmm. But come on, man. You can't lose that. But
would you still take Arkansas again if they played now?
Yes, 100%.
Over A&M.
Over to A&M.
100%. This is a fluke.
Yeah.
A&M's. I still am not. I think this was a fluke. I think the Alabama's defense made A&M look good. Like they haven't looked good like the rest of the year. I mean, who knows? Maybe this could be like for Penn State in 2016, like where they started out very shakily and then they beat Ohio State and then they got on a roll. But I don't know.
Well, it's Alabama. They're gonna get on a roll again.
Well, yeah. I
told you they're gonna lose 2 games. And it's not gonna matter.
No.
All right.
No. I mean,
if they play Georgia, do they play Kentucky?
No, they don't.
They don't.
Okay, to be fair, even if they don't lose to Tennessee, I did say they would lose, so that counts as half.
No,
they have to win.
No. That counts as half as knowing that they would lose. I predicted it.
No, you said they would lose to Tennessee, not that they would lose to then that they would lose and then have another loss to Tennessee.
It was Jaron Hall from BYU.
For what?
What?
What was your question? What were you saying that for,
Jared
Ryan?
Hall.
No, I spaced out for a minute. That's my bad.
My man's tweaking.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares? Bruh.
All
right, let's wrap this up. We got half an hour. We have 20 picks. We have 20 picks.
You know what? I got fully vaccinated yesterday, so I'm still feeling like crap. So
are you actually
you got hit by a truck?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, that's fair. Because after I got the second day, like my second dose, I felt like that too. But anyway, guys,
yes, I feel like I've been hit by a truck.
Yeah, dude. I just remember like I was about to go to bed. I just got the worst chills of my life, and it's just like, yeah. But anyway, guys,
this morning puking for 2 hours straight, so that was fun.
All right, but it is pick'em time, boys. So you know what that means. So Ryan, you need to get the score up. Come on, you've had it together. Go get it right now.
I do actually have it together
now.
This week.
You have music that you can play during this? I think we need to have music during the.
We could have like a drum roll, please.
Or no, not that. I'm talking about just music to play throughout the entire pick'ems.
Oh yeah,
I'll have to work on that. We'll get that set up for next week.
Just play the Star Wars theme song.
It wouldn't be a pod if my dogs weren't barking.
Ah, there it is.
There's the bark.
Lucas has dogs, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
All right.
But the scoreboard is Connor is in first place with 46. I am in second place with 45.
Bruh.
Lucas and Andrew are tied for last place with 43.
The dog barking in the background could have just worked as well.
Yeah, that too.
Just crickets and then just dog barking.
But anyway, guys, it is time for the pick'ems, and now it's time. This is time for me and Lucas to catch up. So we're gonna start
Catch
off
up
this
with
week
three.
a good Mountain West matchup. First of all, we're gonna start off with, and that is
Literally a
Fresno
whole pot.
State at Wyoming.
Hey, did you not put that
Wait.
other game on there?
I did. It's further down the list.
Mother freaker.
All right.
All right, my first.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, of course you are.
All right, cool. I got Fresno State in this game. And the reason being is that I said that they would go 10-2 this season, and I'm sticking to my guns.
I'm taking Fresno State as well. I can't remember the quarterback's name, but I like him as a quarterback. He's
Jake
been
Hader.
pretty good. Oh, Jake Hader?
Yep.
Yeah, so I like him. And they're going to beat the Fighting Josh Allens.
All right, so I'm going to go with the real FSU here. And
Hey, yo.
Damn.
Damn.
Shots fired across the bow.
the Fighting Jake Hainers, who are
Jake Hader.
1-1 in the Pac-12 right now. Maybe the third best team in the Pac-12. But
Is Boise the second best?
maybe they might be.
Oh, no, BYU.
Well, BYU is undefeated, so they would be
Oh, they're
like
the
in the
best.
Pac-12 championship right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm going with the Fighting Jake Hainers in this game. Jake Hainer is just too much for Wyoming.
I agree. It's only a 3.5 point spread, funny enough, Wyoming, but I'm going with I agree. Fresno State is the better team here. Auburn at
Down by 14.
all right, cool.
Fresno
All right,
Back.
Auburn. All right, Auburn at Arkansas, number 17, Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas is still ranked? Oh, I didn't. The graphics showed them not.
Yeah, they weren't, and I was like, wait, that's not right. And I
Okay.
rechecked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have that on my thing either, but it's Arkansas, not Arkansas. All right,
It's actually Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
So they're gonna
Arkansas.
win this game. Bo Nix is Bo Nix.
He's gonna be no Knicks.
No.
Don't steal my
Yeah,
thunder.
Arkansas.
Bo Nix is gonna do Bo Nix things. Go Hogs. Whoa pig suey.
Whoa.
Bo Nix for Heisman. Will Pig Suey. I'm going Arkansas. No offense, Auburn.
Clean sweep.
So yes, of course, everyone's gonna pick Arkansas here. Number 18, Arizona State at Utah.
All right, so I got Arizona State in this one, even though Utah has looked good at home. Arizona State looked incredible against Stanford.
Yes.
And TND like to point out that that's how you beat Stanford to all Oregon fans, which was a little upsetting to me. But yeah, they look really, really good. And honestly, I think they're going to get to the Pac-12 title game with only the one blemish against BYU.
So a fair statement.
Yeah, I got Arizona State. They look like that was a winnable game against BYU. Obviously, they just had those interceptions, those mistakes on their part. But besides that, they looked really good so far. So yeah, I would agree. They're probably the favorites coming out in the South. USC and UCLA are just too inconsistent, and Stanford. I mean, they just destroyed Stanford, so I don't see Stanford being able to win that division at all.
Well, Stanford's in the north.
Oh, sorry,
In the North, yeah.
I forgot about that. Sorry, I'm not a Pac-12 aficionado.
Utah
so.
is in the South, though, so if Utah wins this, it's wide open.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
they win this, then that kind of consolidates it as Arizona State is the favorite for the division. Okay.
If Arizona State wins, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go with the Fighting Herm Edwards in this game. I think Jaden Daniels is just like he may be the best quarterback in the Pac-12. So yeah, go Sun Devils.
So I just actually checked the line on this game, spread on this game. It is even right now, and I had to wait, what's going on here? Why is it like that? But I looked at Utah's only 2 losses. They are two ranked teams in BYU and San Diego State, and
Utah's undefeated at home too.
Yeah, and just for that reason, I'm going to take the upset here. I'm going to go with Utah. As much as I like Arizona State, yeah, I'm going to go you. Also for that guy who going to do it for that guy who got killed a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly, RIP. I can't remember his name.
Which is the second kid from Utah in 2 years.
That's died in the last year.
No,
yeah,
last year. It's been less than a year.
Yeah, dude, it's really sad.
You have 2 players in less than a year have died for them.
Has something to do with the program, I swear. They need to keep those kids on campus.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think Utah would be that dangerous.
This is a kind of a tricky one.
Well, they're not in Utah when it's happening, right?
No, it was in Salt Lake City.
Oh, was it? Shit. Yeah. Well, I stand corrected.
Okay. Now, this is a kind of a tricky one here. Ball State at Eastern Michigan.
All right, here's my thing. So we all know that Ball State's the best team in Indiana. But I'm gonna say
W.
I'm still gonna take Eastern Michigan because I really like their uniforms. The green and white's really nice. So I'm taking Eastern Michigan.
Oh man, I'm taking Eastern Michigan for no other reason than they're not. They're not the ones that have the red field. That's what Western.
That's
Eastern Michigan has the gray turf.
Yeah,
they have the really weird gray turf. Right. I'll take them for that, I guess.
All right, so I know nothing about these 2 teams. I know Ball State was in the MAC championship last year, but Eastern Michigan. This is why I'm going to pick them. I did a NCAA 14 dynasty, and I started with Eastern Michigan. And won 3 straight national championships. So go Eastern Michigan.
Freshman difficulty.
Oh man!
No, it was on Heisman.
With his 99 overall grade apart.
Wow!
I upset Alabama in week 1 with Bryce Young.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
I do.
All right. Well, I'm surprised I'm the only one who is going to take Ball State here, and the reason for that is
they're the best team in
Roll those balls.
They are the best. Yes. Well.
I mean, you already want to take Lucas's away from him. So
I already said. You missed it earlier. Were you here when I said going to top his balls off?
Yeah, you were. I mean, you were saying that in the group chat. I saw that the
entire no, I said it on the show too.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier. I was here for that. He said,
okay,
good. Fly out there and chop
him up.
Oh my
god. Okay, but Ball State had recently knocked off undefeated Army 2 weeks ago, and they beat Western Michigan, who beat Pittsburgh earlier last week.
Football math doesn't work.
No, for the last 2, no. Normally it doesn't, but they look really hot right now, and that is why I'm going with the Ball State Cardinals. Texas A&M at Missouri. Trap game.
I don't think it's a trap game because I think Missouri's terrible.
I mean, Missouri got destroyed by Tennessee, so I'm taking Texas A&M as well.
Yeah,
taking Texas A&M.
It would be such a Texas A&M thing to do to beat Alabama and then lose to Missouri.
I wouldn't actually be that surprised if it is.
That is longhorning.
That is long.
No, that's Aggie. That's Aggie. That's Aggie.
I'm actually going to go Missouri. I'm actually going to go Mizzou in this game.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be an upset. I think that they're going to be 2 really high off of that Alabama game, and then I think Texas A&M's going to come back to earth a little bit and realize, hey, we caught Bama on a bad day. We're really just like the 7th or 8th best team in the SEC.
We wish we could go back to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Not
both
so
of
fast.
Those teams.
Yeah, not so fast, my friend. I'm going to go Texas A&M, but I only think they win by a field goal. There's just going to be a tough game.
This will definitely be. It'll be a trap game.
To be fair, Mizzou did play Kentucky tough. I mean, they only lost by a touchdown.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, but we'll see. Miami and North Carolina.
Really?
Both of these teams desperately need a win.
Listen, there is no way on this earth that North Carolina loses this game. If they lose this game,
I will be
then
laughing
hell has frozen
hysterically
over.
the entire time.
There is no way they lose this game.
Because Miami's starting a freshman quarterback, right? I don't know who to start.
He's looked okay though. They almost beat Virginia.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's no way they lose this. If they lose this, then fire everybody.
Mac Brown's gone. Yeah, I'm taking UNC. I mean, without De'Aaron King, I don't think Miami has a chance. I think they could actually probably finish last in the Coastal with how messy of a division that is usually. That's kind of saying something. Because I mean, once they got destroyed by Michigan State, that was their chance really to prove that they could make this season be something despite losing to Alabama. So I think if Miami loses this game, which I think they will, they're out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna go UNC. Go Tar Heels.
I'm gonna go with North Carolina. Go Heels. They're gonna bounce back. They haven't looked good the last couple of weeks, but this just feels like a game Howell's gonna go off and just tear them apart. Iowa State at Kansas State.
Okay, our order's kind of off, but I got
my bad. This
is funny because Iowa State is another longhorning team, and Ryan called it from the jump. We didn't jump on the train, but they're going to lose this game to Kansas State, be 3-3, and it's going to look really, really bad. Someone's got to get fired. Somebody. Just fire the intern. Somebody at Iowa State, just to wake them up maybe.
If Iowa State – I'm taking Kansas State, but if Iowa State doesn't finish with at least 8 wins this season, the chances of Matt Campbell getting a potential better job anywhere else is probably gone out the window, at least for another year or two, because he was one of the hottest names for head coaching and for a bunch of other bigger time schools than Iowa State. But Brock Purdy is Brock Purdy. Breece Hall has just not looked the same anymore. Kansas State played Oklahoma tough at home. And obviously, how much we've been smacking on Oklahoma. So I'm taking K-State.
Yeah, I'm going to go K-State as well. I think this is really a toss-up for me because both teams have looked really inconsistent this year. But I think Kansas State gets the dub at home.
Now the question is, Iowa State 6.5-point favorite? I'm going with Iowa State. Number 10, Michigan State at Indiana. And I believe this is a 3-point spread.
We are really jumping around.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Oh, you have that other game way down there. Okay. I'll just jump in. I got Michigan State, best running back in the country statistically. And Kenneth Walker probably will be a consensus All-American, along with probably Bijan Robinson at running back, honestly. And then Naylor obviously is a beast as a wide receiver. And Indiana will show that last year was just a random fluke.
Yeah, go Sparty.
Yeah, go Sparty.
Yeah, go Sparty. Even though I think it's going to be closer than people think, but I think Michigan State comes out on top. They still look kind of shaky at times this year. UCF at Cincinnati. Number 3, Cincinnati. Never thought I'd be saying that in my lifetime.
It's actually
at least there's one good football team in Cincinnati. Though the Bengals
the Bungles.
Yeah, they're getting better, but they're still going to somehow bungle it against somebody.
Cincinnati wins this, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout or anything.
Vegas would disagree with you, Lucas.
What's the money? What's the line?
21-point favorite, Cincinnati.
Yeah, see, I don't buy that. UCF is like a really weird team to me because they can come out there and play really well or play like the worst team in the country. I don't know. I think it's going to be a closer game, but I don't think it's I don't know. 10 points. Give me Cincinnati by 10.
I will take Cincy and then I'm saying this as someone who lives 20 minutes from there, from Navy, when Navy's only win of the season is over UCF, that's not very good because Navy's not good this year at all. Yeah, I don't agree. I would take probably Cincy plus 21. I mean, they've been destroying the American Athletic. So they got to hope that Memphis and some other teams get close to the rankings and or get ranked. But they're already at number 3. If they keep winning, it'll be fascinating to see what the first college football playoff ranking has them at. But yeah, Cincy.
I'm actually going to go Cincy by 35 here. I don't think it's close. And here's why. I'm surprised none of you guys mentioned it, but when Dylan Gabriel went out against Boise State in the first game of the year, this team completely went down the drain.
Yeah.
And I just don't see if they had Dylan Gabriel, it would be different. I think UCF may be 4-1, undefeated at this point, and we'd be talking about a ranked versus ranked American matchup. But without Dylan Gabriel, they have no shot against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense is legit. They have maybe a first-round draft pick corner, and Desmond Ridder has proved to be maybe the second best quarterback in his class, behind Matt Corral. So I think Cincinnati's going to blow them out of the water. It's not even going to be close.
I'm going Cincinnati by a lot. That's really all there is to it. Yeah, no Dylan Gabriel. You took my words right out of my mouth. Army at Wisconsin.
Army.
Wisconsin.
I'm taking Army.
Wisconsin.
Okay, you're taking Wisconsin. I think Army's triple option is going to be difficult for them to defend. We saw a few years ago Army nearly beat I think it was like a top 10 Michigan at the Big House. It was only like a 7-point loss by Army. So when Army's on point with their triple option, they're very, very, very hard to beat. And Wisconsin's just not very good. So I'm going to go with Army.
Ryan, sorry, my bad. I almost cut you off.
On Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin's going to win this game, and here's why. Wisconsin's defense is actually really good at stopping the run. When they played Notre Dame, they killed our offensive line, and we could not run the ball against them to save our lives. Wisconsin's defense has been their only strong point this year. Graham Mertz is god-awful. But I would give Army this win if they could only pass the ball. I have no faith that Army could pass the ball if they need to. And if Wisconsin's defense can just get like 2 or 3, like 3 and outs or defensive stops with their run defense and make Army pass the ball, Wisconsin's defense is good enough to carry them to a victory. I can see this being like a 10-3 type win for Wisconsin.
Army, I can tell you right now, Army, even if they're down by 2 scores, will not pass the ball. They will pass it. I'm going to predict right now they're going to have 10 pass attempts or less. I'd actually be willing to say 5 for the entire game.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, when you have just such a one-dimensional offense like Army does, and you have a Wisconsin defense that, they're 2-3, but the Wisconsin defense is still probably top 20 in the country. You can tell that they're just going to run the ball. Those guys are good enough to get in that backfield and make plays. So, go on Wisconsin.
Go, Army, go. Go, Army, go. I got the Black Knights winning this one and a close one. Last time they played, I think, was it a Michigan team?
That's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, the Michigan team. They almost won. So, I got the Black Knights. From my friend who is a fellow West Point graduate, Song Soo. This one's for you, man. I got the Black Knights. Also, come on, who doesn't like rooting for the academies? Number 19, Baylor at BYU. Or actually, no, I meant number 19, BYU at Baylor.
All right. So I'm not really sure why Baylor didn't kind of get, like, I understand that Oklahoma State was ranked 19 when they played, but Baylor, I feel like they should have got the same treatment that Texas got, where they only dropped like 4 spots, because they were ranked 21, I believe, when they played Oklahoma State. So they should be like 25 right now. Texas probably should have dropped out after that. But I'm taking Baylor here. BYU was super unimpressive, and Baylor has actually looked pretty decent this year. I think they played, one of the best teams in the Big 12 in Oklahoma State and lost to them. So, I mean, it happens, and I think they end up getting the win and back in the top 25 here.
I took BYU. I have no other reason than I just like seeing them play. And I think they have such a hard schedule with how it's been, all the good teams they're playing. But they're last week, obviously they lost, but I think they're going to be able to rebound.
All right. I'm going with Baylor. My boy Gary Bohannon is going to go off in this game. I would have picked BYU probably last week to win this game. But with just how they looked against Boise State is still Boise State, but they are not even close to the Boise State teams we've seen in the past. BYU is not legit. They have no business being ranked.
Wow.
So if anything, I would make Baylor number 19 and kick BYU out of the top 25. So I got Baylor winning by 2 scores.
Who have they beaten? They've been a now ranked Arizona State team
who was ranked when they beat them.
Who was ranked when they beat them? They've played.
They beat Utah, who's a good team.
Yeah, they beat Utah, who's a good team. Who else have they played?
I don't remember.
But they're good. I mean,
they're a good team. I think Ryan, I think Ryan's being a little harsh on them personally, but Baylor is 6.5 point favorites in this game. I do agree with that. But I do think Baylor wins by a field goal. I think the difference being this game being at Baylor in Waco. Mm-hmm. Ole Miss at Tennessee.
So I originally had Ole Miss on this.
I know who you were going
but
with.
I had to stick to my guns, and I am a loyal human being. So I have to take Hendon Hooker in the Vols in this game. I have to.
Oh my God.
And they're going to get this dub, and then they're going to beat Bama next week. They're going to beat Bama next week, and they are going to still not go to the SEC title game because they are in the same.
Because they'll then lose the next 2 games after that.
Hey, that's fine with me. As long as they win the games they say they're going to win, I don't care.
You're right.
They're going to win this game. I'm giving it to them.
I do think this could be a shootout. Maybe not in the vein of Ole Miss, Arkansas.
No, yes, it could.
I mean, yeah.
Tennessee has a better offense than Arkansas.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I agree.
Yeah,
Arkansas's offense has been
I would take Hooker over KJ Jefferson. But obviously I've seen him play firsthand as a Virginia Tech fan. So, I'll take that. But I mean, I really, really wanted to roll with Hendon Hooker as well, but Matt Corral is just so good. I don't understand how he's not the Heisman favorite. Most people still have Bryce Young as the Heisman favorite, apparently. Places do, which is wrong. I think it should be Matt Corral. He is looking like the best quarterback in this draft.
It's because of the Alabama game. That's why the Alabama Ole Miss game. That's the only reason Bryce Young is the favorite.
That's true. Yeah, but I mean, Matt Corral didn't play bad in that game at all. I don't think he played really well. So, but I'm taking Ole Miss. Another game probably we could see over close to 1,000 yards of offense. Neither team has a very existent defense, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm going to go Ole Miss as well. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game between Hendon Hooker and Matt Corral. But when it comes to high-scoring games, the better quarterback usually comes out on top. And I just think Matt Corral is better than Hendon Hooker, just flat out. And I think I would trust Matt Corral more in a high-scoring game when you need a touchdown or a drive to win the game than I would Hendon Hooker. But yeah, go Ole Miss.
Howdy towdy. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game, just like last week for Ole Miss. They're going to score over 50 probably again. But yeah, howdy towdy. Rocky Top is kind of coming back, but they're not quite to the top. They're almost to the top. So Ole Miss. Air Force at Boise State.
So I feel kind of bad going against both of the academy schools, but I got Boise State here. And the reason being is a certain individual from the Bay Area and Mountain View High School, Cyrus Habibi Likio, who had 75 yards last week and a touchdown against BYU, and former Oregon Duck. I shit on him a couple weeks ago because he had negative yards, but now he bounced back, and he's going to do the same thing against Air Force here, and Boise State's going to win.
Yeah. I originally had Boise State, but I just realized that I took them for there was no actual reason that I took them. But since I rolled with Army before, I'm going to roll with Air Force. I'm just going to roll with both service academies. Why the hell not? Just trying to get some more points, even though I'm winning.
Slight flex, but all right. You're muted.
I'm going to go Air Force in this one. I think the Falcons are going to be flying all over that blue turf. I just think Air Force is the better team. Honestly, I mean, I think Boise State played BYU great, but I also don't think BYU is that good of a team either. But I think Air Force is legit. I think they actually may be the best of the military academy schools.
Well, that's not saying much when Navy's 1-4 and they haven't scored up more than.
Hey, don't disrespect Army like that.
But no, go Air Force.
I've kind of been going back and forth on this game because, like, Air Force is a good team. Their one loss was
don't bet against loss. BSU again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I can do that. I mean, Boise State's also a 4-point favorite in this game. And for that, I'm going to go with my boy Khalil Shakir, who you guys have been hearing me talk about him. I love this guy. He's so fun to watch. He's one of my favorite players to watch in college football. Just from literally when I make my top 25 videos, every week, I swear he's going to have a play in there. So I'm going with my boy Khalil Shakir and the Boise State Broncos.
Go Broncos.
TCU at number 6, Oklahoma.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner, but the biggest story will be whoever starts the game. That's the biggest story coming out of this. It doesn't. I mean, if they lose, that's just as big, but definitely the biggest is whether it's Rattler or Williams starting.
Go TCU. I'm taking the Horned Frogs.
Wow.
Matt Dugan.
Duggan.
Whatever. Okay. Dugan, Duggan, same thing. Tomato. But I said, and I'm going to keep sticking against this Oklahoma team until they lose, because it's not, like I said before, it's not a matter of if they lose, it's a matter of when. And Oklahoma always plays TCU really tough and close. TCU has upset Oklahoma a couple times in the past couple years. So I'm going with the Horned Frogs.
This will be his regret pick.
If they start Caleb Williams, I'm gonna have to say no, because TCU's defense has been very meh.
Also, if they start Spencer Rattler, that's what I'm betting on.
There's no way. I mean, we saw earlier this week that Caleb Williams has already taken starting reps in practice. So for that reason, I'm going Boomer Sooner. And even though I think Oklahoma's defense is still doo-doo, I think they'll win in the shootout. Number 20, Florida at LSU in the fake Death Valley.
Florida.
So in the fake
I'm just going to
Valley. That's pretty much the same thing with me. I think Edo is going to lose his job. maybe not after this one, but he's getting the seat's getting hotter.
He just won a national championship 2 years ago.
Okay, Gene Chizik got fired literally, I'm pretty sure 2 years after he won it. Where
Mark Helfrich went to 1 and then 2 years later went 4-8 and lost his job. So
you guys, that's because you guys got embarrassed in the national championship game.
That's not why he got fired.
No, I'm saying like that. If you guys would have won that,
Gene Chizik, the Auburn went 3-9 2 years after winning.
Yeah, that's
different.
Saying.
It's 3. If LSU makes a bowl game, he's fine.
No,
probably not.
You're not gonna.
Last year it was an exception, sure, because they lost a lot of talent. I'll give them that. Not 2 years in a row.
And COVID. And
but honestly, if Nick Saban.
They're already calling for Edo's head, and he hasn't even lost.
That's LSU fans. That's LSU fans. They were calling for his head the year they won the national championship with Joe Burrow.
The day that Bama actually fires Nick Saban is the day that college football ends. Because
I'm saying, like,
he won't get fired. He'll retire.
A coach that wins a national championship should get a little leeway. Brian Kelly has not won a national championship, and Notre Dame gives him all the leeway in the world.
Didn't Gus Malzahn get fired like 2 years later too?
No. Gus should have gotten fired sooner.
Gus wasn't let go until what? Before last year, like the year before. So that's 6 years on from then.
Was he the dude that beat Oregon? Who was the guy that beat Oregon?
Gene Chizik.
Because he wasn't.
And then Gus Malzahn, his first season was the Kick 6 season. Was when they made the championship and played Florida State.
And that was in 2013. So it was only so Gene Chizik got fired 2 years later. I mean,
but so Ryan, you said LSU or Florida?
Yeah, go Gators.
Yeah. Oh, disgusting! I hate that.
That's disgusting.
As a girl, that is disgusting. As still a Georgia fan, that is disgusting. As we like to call them, the gay turds.
Hey, my cousin's a Florida fan, so I'm giving him a break.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not giving him anything. So Ed O is soon going to be a Gano eating some gumbo. So I'm going to take the Gators.
Go Tigers! Thank you very much.
Hey guys, thank you. Love you, man. Go Tigers.
Did you guys hear? Okay, wait. On Ed O, did you guys hear his talk show thing that happened?
Yeah.
What? No,
yeah.
He said something about there's gonna be some like fishing line ready for him or something, fishing poles. I don't know.
Because the kid gotta quit talking, man. He's gotta quit talking. He already remember when he talked against UCLA. It said bring your blue eyes down here or something like that, and then UCLA memed him. So
stomped him.
Yeah,
Sissy Blue.
No, it's Sissy Blue eyes down here. Yeah. So, all right. The first of our two ranked matchups this week. Number 12, Oklahoma State at number 25, Texas, who shouldn't be ranked.
This will be my regret pick of the week. I got to stick to my guns. I've been saying Casey Thompson's really good. I got to stick to my guns. I think he's going to win this. Actually, I'm going to pick Texas, but
where'd Ryan go?
Don't.
Bruh.
I don't know. But that was
Ryan,
weird.
where'd you go?
I couldn't hear Lucas because it was like cutting out, so I left.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Lucas, you're taking Texas?
So I'm taking Texas, but I don't think they're gonna win.
Okay, so I mentioned this earlier. I went back and forth on this. I originally had Oklahoma State, and then I have Texas written down. But the reason why I originally switched it was Oklahoma State's offense has not looked really that good. They are averaging under 25 points a game. They're not really, winning with the typical Oklahoma State offense that we associate them with. But my biggest question, of course, was how Texas is going to bounce back. If they win this game, that'll it won't fix their season, but it'll, right the ship a bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do lose this game, and it just destroys their entire season. And Sarkisian starts next season already on the hot seat. I'm gonna go back on my pick. I'm gonna take Oklahoma State. who I switched back and forth on, but I'm going to take Oklahoma State.
All right. So I said last week that a thing that would be so Texas would be beating Oklahoma, saying we're back, Texas is back, folks, all that, and then losing to Oklahoma State. So now that they lost,
they've solved that problem beforehand.
So now that they lost to Oklahoma and they lost the way that they did, the real Texas thing to do here is to beat Oklahoma State, who is undefeated and ranked number 12 in the country. And then the announcer will say, Texas is back, folks. And then they will lose the following week. So for now, go Longhorns, but Texas is not back.
When Lucas said guns up, I thought he was going to take Oklahoma State. And, I kind of want to take Oklahoma State, but I'm still kind of very iffy on them. Even though they're undefeated, they've been very kind of mad to me to start this season. So for that reason, I am going to go Texas in a bounce back game. They can't do this Longhorn thing 2 weeks in a row, right? Knock on wood. And finally, where College Game Day is going to be at, and where I'm going to be at this
I'm the
weekend.
only one that's taking Oklahoma State, even though Lucas fully expects Texas to lose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sweet. Yep.
The final game of the week.
Actually, that's kind of worked out for me. Every game I think I picked where I was the only one who picked it.
Who the hell cares?
I care because that's how I'm winning.
No. Okay. Well, you know what? No. Okay. But anyway, the final game the final game that's not our teams or whatever we have left. The best game easily of the weekend. Game day is going to be there. I'm going to be at game day and at this game with my girlfriend. So that's going to be fun.
Flex. All right.
Nice. Yeah, slight flex. I only got tickets for $90 because I got out of a student. Meanwhile, tickets on StubHub are going for like $180 because it's homecoming.
What, did you beat him?
No.
To get tickets?
No.
I thought Georgia fans hated Clemson fans.
No, my girlfriend buys them for me. I just send her the money.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
No. I mean, they don't care. It's just they don't know I'm a Clemson fan. Literally, she buys it off a student and says like, "Oh, my boyfriend needs a ticket" or something like that. But
and I see I see a Georgia logo hanging on the wall behind you.
I have a signed David Green poster, and I grew up a diehard Georgia fan, so nice. I still have my Georgia stuff in there.
Okay.
Georgia's gonna win this game, and I'm really sad about it.
Sorry, Joshua. If this was in at Kentucky, I would still pick Georgia. So I'm definitely taking Georgia now.
F in the chat for Joshua.
The only person in the chat.
I know, right?
It's literally him and then nobody else.
It's okay.
Ryan?
So
he'll be the guy that comes along with us when we
for whatever reason, I have a really weird feeling about this game. I kind of had a weird feeling about when Kentucky played Florida 2 weeks ago. I picked Florida in that game, and Kentucky ended up winning. But I just have a weird suspicion that this could be a really big trap game for Georgia. I know they're riding high off of another big victory against another ranked team in Auburn. But I don't know if I trust that Georgia offense quite yet. I think Kentucky is probably the best team they've faced to this point. Sorry, Andrew. But Clemson's not better than Kentucky.
Not even Kentucky. They're not even the best. That's not even who I was going to say, but okay.
But I think Will Levis is going to get the job done. And I think Kentucky gets this win.
All right.
And there's more chaos.
No, I'm sorry. We gotta explain this again. I have never witnessed Georgia lose a game in person. I've been doing this for a long time. I told Connor a while back in the 2006 Chick-fil-A Bowl, I witnessed Georgia go down 21-3 to Virginia Tech at halftime, back when Beamer ball was in its prime. And I watched them come back to win that game when Matt Stafford was a freshman. And as much as I respect Kentucky, I think they've also looked very shaky at times this season. Barely beating Chattanooga, barely beating Missouri. And their offense has been very sus at times. I mean, Christopher Rodriguez is a great running back. All the credit to him. But Dogs win this one, and it's not even close. I said it.
I mean, let me ask you guys this though, because I think Kentucky has one of the best O lines in the country. I mean,
okay, but Georgia has a better D line.
Okay, but Georgia doesn't. Their offense is yet to prove anything.
Okay,
they have not played the best defense they played is Clemson, and they only scored 3 points offensively.
They just beat
but they looked a lot better.
37-0.
Yeah, but when you get so many possessions because Arkansas can't do anything offensively, that's a little bit different. I think Kentucky's way better than Arkansas. I mean, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kentucky, but
if Kentucky won, would they just automatically jump up to number 1, or would they jump to like 2 or 3?
Hey, easily up to 5 probably.
Well, wait. If Kentucky wins this game, right? Do you think what do you think happens with the whole Georgia-Alabama? Because if Kentucky wins, then Georgia has to hope Kentucky loses 2 games to even be in the SEC title.
I mean, that's not going to happen. I'm going to say it 100%. I'm telling you right now, it's no way, Jose. No. I'm just going to say. Let's look. What's the spread on this game, by the way? Let me check. Georgia is 23-point favorites for a reason. And I think they even covered that.
Holy crap!
Oh.
Nope, I respect it because especially if JT's starting, the fact that Georgia's looked this good offensively, even with Stetson Bennett, that's in the fact that they're still scoring.
Doesn't matter. Mailman's going to take it home.
NFL sounds like a generic Madden made-up character name.
Yeah, no, but if JT's there, they can stretch the ball down the field. I mean, he can't quite run as much, but he don't need to. Georgia's just going to ground and pound the ball.
What'd you say was a Madden made-up name, though?
Stetson Bennett.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now to our games. We'll start off with my team, Go Tigs, on a Friday night in the Carrier Dome. Oh, gosh, PTSD is kicking in right now because the last time we did that, we lost. Clemson at Syracuse.
I am taking Clemson in this game because Clemson. I don't know, man.
Man.
I have no other reason. I'm taking Clemson. I have no other reason. I honestly have no idea what they're doing. Syracuse has been very up and down.
This could be a tie.
This will go into 8 overtimes.
All right, so I got 2 points here.
No.
The
Andrew,
first
Coster.
Yes.
With what Joshua just said. If Kentucky wins, we can bring him on next week.
Okay. We can bring them on next week.
All
right. That's fair. I'll give them that. If they can bring on, we can win them on. We'll bring it on.
All right. So 2 points. Okay. The first point is Syracuse's quarterback. I don't know if you guys have seen.
Tommy DeVito?
No, that's not the quarterback.
Oh, it's not anymore.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's Grayson or something like that, or son Graham.
If you guys loved Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard, this kid has like a baby Fitzpatrick beard. It is hanging so much that it's like dangling out of this helmet. Anyway, second point.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, what is wrong with you? Oh, it's Graham Strader. That's his name. This dude's ugly. I just looked up a picture of this guy. He's ugly as hell. What the heck?
Jeez.
Second point.
Easy on my hands.
Syracuse play Wake Forest tough. Okay, and it was at the Carrier Dome. Okay. This is my final point. Clemson fans and Andrew are going to be crying because they are going to lose to the Qs at the Carrier Dome. And you know what? The Clemson faithful
won't
are
even
be
be
doing
mad,
this today.
honestly.
The Clemson fans will not be doing
I'm
this.
going to be busy drinking
after
out of my
this
girl's semi-formal. I'm not even going to be watching the game.
Also, Coster, I've been hearing that Mike Mayock might be trying to go after Dabo for the Raiders. That's where I've been.
Dabo is not going to the pros. If anyone thinks Dabo is going to the NFL, they're absolutely an idiot.
When he gets mad about college players making more money, he will be beyond.
That's exactly my point.
When he finds out that all the players on the team make more money than him.
Yes, that's exactly my point. Give him a break, man. DT Uliangula's got insane endorsement deals from Dr. Pepper and Bojangles. Too bad he's not living up to the hype for them. Ryan, Not so fast, my friend. If I could have slapped you for those comments I just heard, I would. I would go reach through there and go right now. Clemson's coming off a bye. Their offense looked a lot better against Boston College. Y'all are. I'm gonna literally kick you out because y'all are making me cringe. Yes, you know what? Fear the pod this week, okay? I'm sorry.
Ryan tries to madness.
No, here's the thing. Ryan brought up, I mean, earlier this week, it was like, oh, Syracuse always plays Clemson tough. They played Clemson tough twice. 2017 when Kelly Bryant got hurt and they won. Congrats. 2018, I'll give them that because they were actually a good team. But then again, Trevor Lawrence got hurt in the second quarter, and Chase Bryce came and brought us back. But Syracuse was also a good team that year, so I'm not going to get them that.
Oh, right. They were like 10-4, 10-3.
Yeah,
to be fair, every time Ryan has said that a team is playing Clemson tough,
they then get destroyed.
Clemson's lost.
Oh, really?
So, to be fair.
Okay, so what? He did that one time?
No,
yeah. He's 1 for 1.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 1. I said that about NC State. So I'm undefeated when saying that a team plays Clemson tough.
Okay, well, we're about to make that 1-1. Clemson's coming off a bye. They're gonna be a lot healthier. The defense is gonna shut down.
Is Skalski gonna be back?
Yes, yeah. He's good to go. Okay. The defense is overall pretty good now at this point, minus Tyler Davis and Brian Brzee. But even then, our front seven still is going to be overall, I think, very good. And I think now we finally started to get the offense going. I think this is the week they finally put it all together. I know we've been saying that for a hot minute, but yeah.
Why does Clemson struggle at the Dome though? Like when it's at the Carrier Dome, it just seems like
they literally struggled one time in 2017. They beat them. They beat them soundly.
They played at the Dome?
2019. They beat them soundly.
Okay.
They beat the brakes off of them. Let me look at that. Let's look at that score real quick. Just because now.
This is gonna go over 2.5 hours.
Oh, I don't care.
Hey, it's about Clemson. Andrew.
I'm so won in 2019, 41-6. Last time they played at the Carrier Dome. They're not scared of the Carrier Dome anymore. Like no offense, that was a one-time thing. When Kelly Bryant got hurt.
One of the last 2 times that they played at the Carrier Dome, it was a close game, basically.
Yeah. The other times it really hasn't been. That never has been, actually. Just that one time. All right, Connor's turn. Pittsburgh at Virginia Tech. Yeah, Connor goes last.
The last time I went against Pittsburgh, I was very sad. And I picked Virginia Tech last week.
You played yourself.
And Virginia Tech made me very sad. They're gonna. I feel like they're gonna be really, really beat up for this game because they got pretty freaking beat up in that really hard, super hard fought loss to Notre Dame. But yeah, I have to go Pittsburgh. I have to here. I'm sorry, Connor. And I like Virginia Tech, but I have to.
Okay. I really want to give Virginia Tech this win. What's the injury update with Burmeister? Is he good?
I haven't heard anything. Okay. I'm not entirely sure. I honestly haven't heard much.
Go ahead, Connor.
No, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. And with Blumrick, if he's hurt with a leg injury, then the only other quarterback we have is Knox Tatum, who's a true freshman. Who has not played much because we haven't scored enough to be able to put him in during garbage time. So pretty much Burmeister's played pretty much every game that he's been able to play without any time off.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Kenny Pickett is really, really, really good. And I think he might be the best quarterback in the ACC.
That's honestly
Sam Howell played.
I would agree.
I'd agree. Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers. I'm sorry, Connor. If Burmeister was fully healthy, I may give Virginia Tech this win at home. But I just think Kenny Pickett is too good. He's not Jack Cohn, and he's not Tyler Buckner. He's not going to.
You're right. He's way better than all three of them combined.
He's not gonna throw interceptions to get V-Tech back in the game.
We should have had another one.
So Yeah, go Kenny, the Fighting Kenny Pickett's.
Yes, go Fighting Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, 19 touchdown passes this year, 1 interception. Sorry, I have to do this to you, Connor, but I don't know how Pitt lost to Western Michigan, but I've got Pitt.
I'm taking Pitt as well. Virginia Tech has scored the least amount of points in the entire Coastal Division. They've scored 123 points.
I bet that's more than Clemson, though.
For reference, Pittsburgh has 262. Their offense, Pittsburgh's offense, is 6th nationally in total offense, 516 yards, and 3rd in scoring offense, 46.3 points.
That's actually that's changed. Actually, it's 558 yards per game, 52.4 points per game.
Oh,
When is Pittsburgh?
What I'm reading. Oh, this is from today. So I don't know what those numbers are based on, but okay.
I looked literally at the ESPN game preview.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm looking at something from Virginia Tech, so that's probably why they're trying to make it look not as bad. Yeah, but they also, outside of Western Michigan, they really actually haven't played very good defenses, and Virginia Tech probably is the best, which isn't saying much.
Virginia Tech's a good defense.
I'm saying
they're giving up 18.6 points per game.
What?
They're giving up only 18.6 points per game. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
By the way, really quick, I did want to say I just looked this up. Burmeister is going to play against Pitt.
Cool. We're going to lose by 14 instead.
They said they asked him, I guess, how his shoulder feels. He said it hurt, but he said nothing's going to keep him from playing Saturday. So.
That's good.
Okay. Well, I will tell you this. If we were playing at Pittsburgh, this would be pretty much a guaranteed loss because ever since I've become a Virginia Tech fan, Heinz Field has been Virginia Tech's personal hell hole. Like, they will get smacked at Heinz Field for no reason. Last year, I can't remember if it was at Heinz, but they lost 47-14 to Pitt. So, with Burmeister starting.
Clemson,
I have so little faith in this offense. I'm kind of about to go on a little rant potentially, but I have no faith in this offense whatsoever.
I just really hope Burmeister doesn't get killed against Pittsburgh because if he's going to go out there with the
Pittsburgh's defense isn't that good.
No, but it's maddening that we don't use Burmeister how he should be used, which is read option.
Yes.
And, use that, play action properly. He does not have a good arm, but you got to do read options. Yeah. We are last in the conference, I think, or second to last in red zone offense because we are not willing to use him as a read option quarterback when we get inside the 5-yard line. And I mean, that when we kicked the field goal to up 10-0 on Notre Dame, when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, we're probably going to lose because, Fuente and Cornelson are not aggressive enough. They are too conservative and they play to lose. Or they play not to lose.
Sounds like Tony Elliott.
But
Tony Elliott.
No, I was just going to say, because I really like Burmeister as a quarterback. I mean, I give him all the credit.
He's a baller. I'll say that.
No, just like the fact that he has. I mean, I honestly think he hurt his shoulder really bad. Like, I think it was a lot worse than he was acting like it was.
Which makes it even more impressive on that throw that Trey Turner should have caught.
But I'm just saying, I really hope Virginia Tech doesn't throw him out there. Because he said his shoulder is still really bothering him. I really hope he doesn't go out there and just get severely injured to where he's out for the rest of the year. Because I think you guys are good enough to at least make a bowl game.
Yeah.
But without Burmeister, I don't know about that.
The good thing after this is after Pitt, we get Georgia Tech and then Duke. So
Georgia Tech's a wild card, though.
Georgia Tech's a wild card, but Duke is bad. Duke's in the division right now. So
yeah.
But we get Georgia Tech at home, so that's good.
Georgia Tech's again an up and down team, but
yeah,
if they play Jeff Sims at quarterback, man, they're. I still think Tech's on the rise. In a few years, they're going to be one of the better teams in the Coastal.
But I will say this: if we get 6 wins or miss a bowl, Fuente's gone.
Yes, I agree 100%.
And
And
I
last,
kind of hope that happens so that Cornelison goes with him. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
And last but not least, the most least exciting game probably on any of our teams going to play. Cal at Oregon. Connor, you start since Lucas.
Go Ducks.
That's it. Yep, that sounds about right.
All right, Sko Ducks.
Let's get this broadcast over with.
Yeah,
Right,
go.
right.
Yeah,
Sko Ducks win by a field goal.
Lucas is just like, what?
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No, they're gonna be up by a field goal.
They have no Kayvon Thibodeau for the first half.
Okay. California is literally.
Oh yeah,
1-4.
Virginia Tech won't have Dax Hollifield for the first half.
Yeah, but okay. I'm sorry, but Cal is trash. Oregon's surprisingly only a 13.5 point favor in this game, but they're gonna easily cover that. I got Cal losing big time to Oregon.
So I know you guys like the All Blacks. Oregon's going with the All Black unis.
Are those what color are those? What color are those numbers? Is that
They're like a silver with a
That looks like
yellow
lime
outline.
green.
Yeah, I like those. Those are fire.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, so we're going with the All Blacks this weekend, Friday night.
The day I see Oregon following the footsteps of the Seahawks and wearing an entire lime green uniform is the day I stop liking Oregon uniforms.
Yeah.
Well, they change every year, and this is going to be a really good game for Oregon fans because we need to get that bad taste out of our mouths. And I'm really hoping Ty Thompson starts. That's it. I'm hoping Ty Thompson starts this game.
Well, now we will go to our $1 ticket game. Of course, this is the game that we think we would pay $1 to go see, and that's it. Winless Arizona 0-5 at Colorado. And by the way, Arizona just announced that their quarterback is out for the year, starting quarterback.
I think Arizona would lose to UConn and probably Vandy. So I'm taking Colorado. And my sister just moved to Colorado, so I'm taking Colorado because I want to be able to look her in the eye.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that he was out for the season because
They just announced it today.
So I picked Arizona to win this at like 5 a.m. this morning. So I'm switching to Colorado because of that reason. Arizona's quarterback actually wasn't – I'm pretty sure he's from South Florida, USF, and he actually wasn't terrible. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback. So I thought Arizona was going to win this and finally break that streak. But now that he's out, I don't think they have a chance.
All right, so I'm a Broncos fan, so Denver is in Colorado.
Who the hell cares?
So Denver is in Colorado, so go Buffs.
Oh my God! Who?
How many times am I going to play that? Yes, we get it, Ryan. Boulder's is like right outside of Denver. We get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ryan, how did you become a Broncos fan, though?
Yeah, how did you
From
become
Indiana.
a Broncos fan?
How are you
My
not
first
a Colts fan?
My first ever NFL game I ever watched was when Tim Tebow came in. When we
In
were
person?
the Broncos. No, the Broncos were playing the Bears. My family are all Bears fans, and
That was the
Oh,
first game
Bears.
you watched?
that was
What do
the
you
first
mean,
ever
what?
NFL
Yeah,
game.
that
I was
sounds
like,
terrible.
that was the first NFL game I ever sat and fully watched because I was more of a college football fan, and all my family are Bears fans. So I was watching the game, and that was when the Bears had like a 14-point lead in the fourth.
Oh, so
And
they
Tim
should have
Tebow-
Bears.
Oh, this was during Tebow Mania.
Yeah, so this was when Tim Tebow came back and set not McManus, Prater up for the game-winning field goal, and ever since then, because I loved Tebow when he was in college too, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be a Broncos fan.
Gross. Gross. I hate Tim Tebow. He was at Florida. Disgusting. But yeah, skill buffs. Colorado is gonna just trample the Wildcats. It's not even gonna be close. And of course, we cannot forget the Blue Hose. You thought we were done after
Wait, did
last week.
Presbyterian win last week or did
No,
Moorhead?
absolutely no, they didn't get more head.
They didn't get Moorhead.
I didn't either.
All right. Lucas, you better clip that this week.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Last but not least, the Presbyterian Blue Hose at the Davidson Fighting Steph Currys.
Damn it, you stole my line. I was about to say the fucking Steph Currys. I'm taking Davidson just because of that. I remember
Man.
my family's a George. My family, a lot of my family went to Georgetown, and so that the year that Davidson made the Elite Eight with Steph Curry, they beat Georgetown on their way there. And I remember watching that game. I'm like, Jesus, who is this guy? And then it was Steph Curry just destroying Georgetown by himself. Joshua, I did. Lol.
Oh God.
Josh, you lucky bastard. So yeah, Davidson. Presbyterian, I think we've cursed them by following them.
I have to. I'm gonna go with Presbyterian here, but if Davidson had like super long baggy uniforms like Curry did when he played, then I would probably go Davidson. But I gotta go Presbyterian here.
All right, so the last 3 weeks since we followed Presbyterian, the Blue Hose have been stunted on. Okay, so Davidson is known for Steph Curry, but they have been god awful in basketball since Curry left, and so is Presbyterian. But you know what? It's Presbyterian. It's the Blue Hose. Blue Hose want Bama, especially after they lost to Texas A&M. So go Blue Hose.
Man. So should I make up a meme this week? No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do anything terrible like last week. Lucas really did do a bad trend last week.
Lucas was a bad boy.
Yeah, but Lucas was a bad influence. Davidson.
No, Ryan made it worse. Ryan was the bad influence.
So Davidson's actually a good team. They, if I remember correctly, they beat South Dakota. They've beaten Stetson College, and they've beaten.
If it was South Dakota State, I'd be very impressed.
Yeah,
They're really good.
Yeah, but no, they're still not a bad team. They're 3-1. I don't know why I had it at 3-2, but they're 3-1. So I'm going to Fighting Steph Curry's because Chef cooking with the pot, boy.
I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Presbyterian every week until they play the second best team in Indiana, and that's Valparaiso.
So, yes.
Okay,
I thought it was Indiana State.
Fun fact about Valparaiso really quick. They used to be called Crusaders, but there was a lawsuit against one of the students filed said it was racist. So they had to change it from the Crusaders to the Guardians.
What?
Yes.
How's Crusader? How's it? What?
I don't know.
Is it because of the Crusades back in? Whatever. We're not gonna do that.
Too much into that.
We're not gonna go into that. This is not political. This is sports. We're gonna keep it that way. Lucas is apparently staring at a peeping Tom or something. I don't know.
Bro, do you hear this truck?
I saw someone walking past you about
loud as hell.
I see.
Yeah, I saw a dog or two.
I saw a dog,
but that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you for watching this episode. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we get too sidetracked. We keep going when you guys are just like, I know probably some of the people are just like.
I mean, we were up to 1, and now we're down to 3, and 2 of them are me, and then the other one's Josh.
Hey, you know what? We didn't make a dirty joke this week. We all went.
We did, Josh.
Yeah, we did.
No, we all.
Lucas kind of did.
We all took Joshua's advice, and we went to go see Jesus. So we are good.
Yeah, we did.
Now Andrew has to do some editing.
Oh, I do have to do some. Yeah, because of that. Yeah, that dude. What the hell?
I think we should say sorry to all of our viewers.
Yes. We apologize for that. I can definitely say I love all black people.
Okay, don't take it too far. Just leave it with "I'm sorry" and leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I was just saying that because we don't support that. I was saying that. Sure,
we don't support that, but let's leave it at that.
We love everyone. We'll give you a big hug. How about that?
We love all Americans.
All right, end the freaking stream.
What the hell was that?
Oh, okay. Well, I was just so trying to answer back to the comments so people don't think, I don't want people to get the wrong idea.
They don't have the wrong idea. They know.
Okay, well, you know what? I want to make sure of that because I love everybody. I'm a loving person, except South Carolina fans. They suck, but
all three of us understand.
All three of us understand.
Oh, yeah.
All right, whatever. All right. For Andrew Coster. All right. So for Lucas McKnight, Connor Daughtry, and Ryan Doherty. So, damn it, I can't get it right. I'm gonna get it right one day. Connor Doherty.
Doherty.
Okay. For Connor D.
Connor.
Ryan Frabble, this is Andrew Coster. We will see y'all next week for another episode of the Week Zero podcast.
And Drew Pine needs to start immediately.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Go Tigers, takes by 90.